Trace, what's happening, bud?
Sending out invites. I'm gonna be a few minutes.
Oh, I sent a bunch out already. I was.
I mean, not invites. Making a post. My bad.
I got you. I sent out several before the space started, so that is what it is. Any old fucking way. Throw something out there to get going. Open the show up. All right. So Ian Gary says Colby Covington is ducking his ass. I gotta be honest. It kind of seems like Colby Covington is ducking or is attempting to duck Ian Gary. He said he would fight him. He named all those bullshit terms, but that's just calling someone out. That's not real. So then I seen him on a podcast saying, I don't know that he deserves it. He's young. I'm established. And I was just like, bro, get the fuck out of here. You called Ian Gary out. I don't know, bro. I think it's true. I think he's ducking him a little bit, if I'm being honest. Is what it is, right? Trying to approve dead picks here. Will it let you approve dead? It won't let me approve his mic. Maybe you already got him. Yeah, I definitely can't approve him. Are you there, Trace? Oh, you're making a post. That's all right. It's still weird that I can't. I'm going to cancel my co-host invite to you, dead picks, and then now I can approve you. There we go. You on the mic there, bud? You get through? Get Ozzy in. All right, somebody's got to let me know if you guys can hear me. Ain't nobody said nothing but me in a few seconds.
I can hear you. You're good.
What'd you think about Ian Gary, bro?
To be honest, I haven't even been keeping up with it.
You think
But
he's
what do you say
starting with
again?
Kobe?
He called out Kobe. But this wasn't that video that was put up, right? Because that video's been out for a minute.
No, he's freshly calling him out. He's saying that he was already offered the fight, and Kobe must be turning it down because he accepted. I really believe him. I believe Ian that he wants the Kobe fight. I don't think he's full of shit. I think he wants that Kobe fight for sure. I don't know. Oh, let's get Senko on the mic here.
Nah, in terms of Ian though, yeah, that's not a bad fight for him. I mean, Kobe's like pretty much on his way out. I mean, the guy's fucking old now. Like, I don't see him like getting any faster. So fuck. I mean, I feel like Ian could probably piece him up if anything. I'm not sure about a knockout, but for sure, be a good display by the guy.
Yeah, I think Ian pieces him up pretty handily, to be honest. Kobe's looks slow. His pace wasn't there like we all thought it would be last fight. Not impressed. Dustin Poirier is talking retirement, boys. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm just throwing that out there. We're betters. Dustin is every outlet you find is talking about how Dustin has mentioned it or implied it, and he's already talking about this would be a great way to end my career. Like he's talking about retiring if he wins the belt. So, man, I fucking love DP. I didn't always like him either, and I'll be honest, man, he really won me over, and I'm a big fan now, but I just don't feel like that's a great look for him, man.
I've been a fan since the Fight Bill days, man. Being from Louisiana, and he's only from an hour and a half from where I'm from in Bro Bridge, or that's where he's from. But yeah, man, I've been around with Dustin Poirier for a long time, man. It's gonna be one of the ones that I hate to see go, but happy that he can and can comfortably as well.
What's up, guys? How's everybody doing?
What's happening, Senko? It will be a tragedy if I never get to see Dustin Poirier bare knuckle box. Just one.
My feeling with DP is, all right, who's he going up against for the belt? Makachev? Do we really think he has a chance? He's never been great with wrestlers and jiu-jitsu guys. Never been great with it. and I think he goes away very quickly in a submission.
I don't know if it's just for me, but like your mic's going like in and out pretty badly.
Yeah, pretty bad, Senko.
Yeah, there's a serious echo problem going on there, man.
Yeah, it's cutting out because the echo's so bad.
Yeah. What's happening, fellas?
What's happening,
All day,
Austin?
all day.
Yeah. So who would you pick in that fight? Who do you think would win, man? I mean, Colby's got pretty good output in wrestling, but
I'm taking Ian Gary
Gary's
easy.
big and strong, man. He's pretty long.
Ian knocks him out. I don't even like Ian Gary.
Oh man, I would say if Colby comes back and looks like Colby of old and is able to apply the pressure and keep the pace and not kind of do whatever the hell it was did last time. If the old Colby's there, I think he can win that fight pretty easily with that pressure. Gary has to come forward. Like Gary has to come forward to get his game going. You crowd the kicker, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a good matchup for Ian. I really do. I think it's a way better matchup than like Shavkat.
It's definitely it's definitely like the best fight for Ian Gary as far as like somebody that still has name value and a winnable fight for sure.
Yeah, I agree. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's the best fight for him. Man, we have been getting some people that listen in on. We're on a few places now. Check us out: Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, and of course Twitter. We got a TikTok going too, but of course we're not uploading long videos over there on TikTok. But if we can, I will. I'm not the guy who runs the TikTok, but I could start getting them over there. Anyway, where I'm going is. Last week I've been building a model, a GPT model that breaks down and analyzes fights. It's not like I just say, hey, tell me this fight. It's a very specific string of questions and commands, and I give it very specific.
Don't be giving out the recipe, bro.
No, it don't matter. You ain't got my commands and my demands, bro. I've been working that motherfucker since before Strickland versus DDP. I can prove that it predicted Strickland versus DDP, and it also predicted Strickland versus Izzy, like to a T. It said that it's posted on our Twitter. It said that he would outpace him, and in the later rounds, it would get worse and worse. It said it flat out. So, and it's fucking real. So last week it said that Pantoja was like a 55% probability. Said that the late rounds would probably be where the fight was decided, and Pantoja won a decision that a lot of people would have. It's a split decision amongst the public. And this week it predicts Derek Lewis at 60% win probability at a 50% knockout probability. The video and the breakdowns are on all the platforms. I'll have it up on X tomorrow. I'm going to pump one out every week, and we're going to track it, and we're going to see how it does. So, I think that's a cool thing. Not everybody's doing that. And it's not as easy as it sounds like it might sound, as redundant as that is. Yuri Prohaska is still considering going down to 185 pounds. Okay, we've talked about that. My question to the guys on the mic right now are, what does Izzy versus Yuri look like?
Man, it's for me, it's a question of once he takes off that extra bit of weight and takes off that little bit extra bit of fluid off his brain, can he take the shots because he is so hittable? And we do know Izzy's going to be able to touch him up. Can he take the punishment? That's a big jump, man. That's the biggest jump of any weight class from 205 to 185. So yeah, it's an interesting. I would have to take Izzy.
So for me, it's what melts off of his upper body. Not even the whole upper body. It's what comes off of the shoulders and the arms, and the chest. Like the upper muscle, the upper striking muscle. If that all shrinks down, I would definitely be on Izzy. If that's not the case and that doesn't all shrink down and he still looks jacked, on the high side, I think Yuri has a very good chance of beating him. But he needs that power. He needs that power advantage.
That fight against Strickland didn't make you nervous about Izzy? As in, we might start seeing the beginning of the end?
Yeah, I think Yuri could beat him, but if Yuri loses his upper body strength, if he has to sacrifice that to get to 185, he's not as good of a striker as Izzy, and he's not as fast. So
Is that
it would
what the
probably
fight would be at, 185?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. That makes
Yuri's
sense.
talking about going down. So yeah, hard for me. Seems like a fight between Mike Perry and Darren Till in bare knuckle is probable or gonna happen. I'm laying the mortgage on Mike Perry just to throw that out there. Like there's nothing.
Man, I'm gonna be honest with you. That's a little hard, dude. Like, don't get me wrong. If you watch the Eddie fight with him and Mike Perry, Eddie was piecing him the fuck up. I mean, he was eating him. He was taking it very well, but like Till would have such a reach advantage, and he's definitely the crisper striker. It's just, man, if he's able to sit back and snipe, I mean, obviously he does kick, but he's not the biggest kicker. So if he's able to not have to worry about leg kicks and throw straights on Mike Perry and connect, he might be able to put Mike Perry out. But yeah, I think we would be able to get him at a very good dog price, and I would probably take a shot.
So
Trace, I feel like that's the Darren Till of 5 years ago.
Yeah, so my thing is like, and I'm going to use this word specifically, in a bare knuckle ring, I don't think he can handle the havoc that Mike Perry brings. The foot in the tire, let's fucking throw down. Even if I've only got you pinned here for 20 seconds.
Oh no, 100%. If he sits down and fights at range and isn't able to cut the angles and keep the footwork going and like keep separation between him and Mike Perry easily wins that fight. Like Mike Perry on the inside is like Mike Tyson of the BKFC, bro. He's just so fucking nasty in there.
And I love it for him, bro. I'm so happy. And like, listen, I know we all like to toot our horns, but like, I got tweets, bro, that said
Oh, I remember.
Mike Perry will be a BKFC legend, bro. I'm so happy for that dude. Like, so happy for that fucking guy. Sean O'Malley says he smashed Pantoja in sparring, and then he released like 3 seconds of footage from 6 years ago of him taking Alex down. Alex says Sean is hiding the whole tape and won't release it. Sean says it was less than 1 round of sparring, and he folded Alex with a liver shot. Okay. Okay. Alex wants that fight. Sean O'Malley beats the dog shit out of Alex Pantoja.
Yeah, if he dropped him and hurt him 6 years ago, whenever he really wasn't that good, Pantoja's always been pretty good. I mean, like it wasn't like he just got good here recently. He was always top tier. Just had that one guy in Davison Figueiredo that he couldn't beat. Yeah, Sean's only gotten better and nastier since then. That's. I don't know. I don't know that Pantoja gets out of there too well.
I feel like
But
all
how many
that talk
people?
about gym should stay in the gym.
That is the
You know what I
code,
mean?
man. But you don't see that anymore. People don't honor the fighter code of what stays behind gym doors. They don't
Well,
do
Yeah,
that
How
it's
shit.
kind
many?
of bullshit. It's kind of bullshit.
How many people
It's
though?
all about as much. It's all about clicks, man. It's all about clicks.
David
How,
Feldman. Who's trying to get on mic? Go ahead.
I believe it's Senko.
yeah, that was me. Hey, I just want to make sure is my mic okay now? And I
Much
just
better.
wanted to say,
Crystal.
I don't. Who's fought O'Malley that was as aggressive as he was? Nobody, because everybody's mystified by his hair or something. I don't know. But I don't think. I think when things get a little bit hot, like it did with Cheeto in the first fight, he retracts. He retreats, and
I think
so
Peter Yan fight. You don't think it'll look like the Peter Yan fight?
no, I really don't. I don't. I think Pantoja can hurt him. I don't think he's going to put him away. Probably go to a decision or something. But I think Pantoja, I wouldn't count him out. He's got those fast hands, and he's
I don't.
aggressive with them.
I just
I
don't
mean,
think
unless Sean
135.
snipes him, unless Sean snipes him and puts him to sleep, with a straight right or something.
Right at 135, I just don't think he's big enough. Yep, YB, go ahead, bud. Nice to see you on the mic.
What's good, guys? I was just gonna say, yeah. I mean, you just said unless somebody snipes him. That's Sean's whole fucking title. Like, dude might as well be named like 50 caliber Mally or some shit, which was a horrible nickname. So don't quote me on that. But he would. I think he would knock him out straight, like fully, with a straight right, as you just said. That dude walks forward a lot, and I love it. I love to watch Pantoja fight, but he's like a Terminator, like Gabe always says in the chat. But eventually, that will not go well for you, and he's very hittable. Sean would probably just snipe the dude and stay at range, even if he walked forward.
Very fair. Ozzy.
I like the idea of Pantoja putting a lot of body shots on him. Nobody's really gone for his body before.
Fair.
Yeah, this is a problem I have is you're talking shit, you dropped a sparring partner or whatever. Man, every sparring partner you have for the next year or so that remembers this, they're going fucking hard for you, man. Like, they're not going to try to lose a round. They're not going to take a round off. They're going to make sure they're rested when they're sparring you if you talk shit about training partners. He's going to have a tough few sparring sessions ahead, but I'm going to sign out, fellas. I will be listening, but I won't be talking. You guys have a great show, and whatever I miss, I will catch on the replay.
I appreciate you as always, Ozzy. And Fuego.
Yeah, dude, I think we all agree that I'm going to be heavy on Merab when he fights Sean O'Malley. I don't know. Maybe some of you guys don't feel that way.
Oh no, I love the pressure cooker for sure.
Yeah. So, what would be the difference between Merab's pressure and Pantoja's pressure against O'Malley? Yeah. But
I think Pantoja's just too small. He's just too small for O'Malley.
Merab
go up
can't
to 135. I just don't see it.
Say that again. Merab what?
Can't strike.
Yeah, I think that's unfair. I think because of Merab's relentless takedowns, it opens up the striking, so he will have more success in the striking than Pantoja will. Because when he doesn't get the strikes, he's gonna throw, or when he doesn't get the takedown, he's gonna throw punches on top of him.
Do you guys think O'Malley?
Takedowns.
Do you guys think O'Malley's favored over Merab?
No.
You guys think Merab would be the favorite? I don't know if there's a line out.
I think O'Malley 100% would be the favorite.
What do you think the line would be?
2-1.
That's probably fair.
Yeah, I would say minus 180, probably opener.
That's probably fair, and I'd be all over Merab.
Yep.
Yeah, I think you honestly you play whoever's at dog money in that fight. Really.
That's a very
Is there a line out? I didn't even look.
Nah, I don't know.
Okay.
We're on a time schedule for the
All right,
headline.
sorry, Joe. Sorry, man.
No. Listen. I don't mind. I just got to scoot it along. So don't feel like I'm. I got feelings about it. I just got to scoot it along. Conor McGregor is apparently going to be an involved owner in BKFC. He was not brought on to be a silent partner. He will be a board member. Mike Perry also decided to put his money where his contract is, and he invested something. He is now also on the owner's board of BKFC. When Conor McGregor and Mike Perry fight BKFC, it will sell 1 million pay-per-views. Let's be clear about that. Conor McGregor versus Mike Perry, BKFC, 170 pounds. Yeah, for sure. Conor's going to be out of his contract with the UFC this year. And even if they re-sign him, I guarantee you he's keeping a boxing stipulation and a bare-knuckle stipulation in that contract. It'll just be a lifetime agreement where, like, okay, if I ever MMA again, I'll MMA again here. Massive fight when that goes down, and it's going to go down. Mark my words. Maybe 2-3 years from now when they're both so washed, nobody cares, but it'll be a huge buildup, and it'll be a big point of contention for talking about BKFC for some time to come, in my opinion. Paige Van Zandt versus Dylan Dennis. Dylan Dennis said something along the lines of, "Don't make me expose our 2 trips to Vegas and ruin your marriage." So Paige posted a video, and she said her only interaction with Dennis was in Vegas, at the UFC athlete retreat where he walked up to the table that she was at in front of other fighters and asked her if she would peg him. And they laughed at him, and he walked away embarrassed. Dylan Dennis, I only bring it up because I just want to say that Dylan Dennis is one of the few people, man, I really wish he just wasn't part of the sport. It's not even to the point of like, I just don't like that guy. Like even Mark Hunt, fuck Mark Hunt. I don't like Mark Hunt, but whatever. Mark Hunt. I fucking hate Dylan Dennis.
What y'all think that fight opens up at, like a -115 to pick him?
Him versus Page.
Yeah, Page is slight favorite. It's got to be pretty close.
Definitely slight favorite. So the smoke I think that might get though is Dylan versus Austin. I could see that going down on a Misfits boxing card.
Maybe in a jiu-jitsu match. He's not going to fight nobody in MMA no more, bro. I think he's just
boxing. Misfits boxing is my prediction.
Oh, okay. I think he's just content with being a troll and raking in whatever money he makes from all the subscribers he has and the views and the responses he gets from people. I'm sure with the amount of people that he does have that follow him just to hate or whatever it is they do for him, he probably does pick up a good bit of good change per month. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not sure how that shit works out as far as like pay per view, like how much if you get if it's per 1,000 interactions or whatever it is. But yeah, I mean he pulls what, a couple 100,000 per post.
Yeah, Dylan kills it. Like people, for whatever it's worth, I don't like the guy. But
We've had him come through here 4 or 5 times. I mean he does whatever he can to kind of to stay relevant. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Dylan's been in here a good 4 or 5 times. Whatever. He bothers me, man. It's to the point where like his trolling isn't so much trolling. Like even that shit with the pictures of whatever that woman was, like it does come a point, bro, where you're not embarrassing her, you're embarrassing yourself. Like there does come that point. So I don't know, whatever. MVP was brought in to help Chimaev striking for his camp right now. So I find it weird that MVP is the guy that Chimaev would bring in. I feel like the styles are so contrasting that, like, if you brought in a boxer, right, like, it would make sense because of the way Chimaev fights, the way he stands, the way he engages. Bring in a guy, teach him how to box. Even like a Muay Thai fighter, fighter.
Rob fights out of that karate stance, so they're bringing in somebody with a karate stance style to probably emulate Rob, but also I would imagine MVP is a little bit faster than Rob is. So yeah, I mean it makes sense to me. I would say it's probably a good training partner for Hamzat.
So I looked it up to try to dig what I could find on it, and the only thing I could find is that what was said is that it was never. I mean, and I'm sure that he is there to emulate Rob some, but it's not being implied that he was brought in to emulate Rob. It's being implied that he was brought in to help Chimaev improve his striking. And if that is the case, I just feel like the styles are so contrasting that it doesn't make any sense to me. I'm going to assume that all things in translation are being lost, and it's what you're saying is that they're bringing him in to emulate Rob, but I just don't feel like he's that much like Rob, man. Other than maybe a somewhat similar stance, maybe. I don't even, like, in my head, I don't even feel like they stand the same. Like,
Well, what I'm saying is they're probably bringing MVP in to mirror Rob's style. Like he's not doing his style to. He's basically
I get what you're
he's
saying.
pretending like he's Rob's shadow in that fight. So like he's fighting out of Rob's stance. He's doing things that Rob would do in a fight whenever he would fight. Like so he's emulating him. That's what I'm saying. But I think like I said, the speed And honestly, probably he's probably got more pop on his strikes as well than Rob. Rob hasn't been the finisher late in his career. I mean, he's had a few up and coming as he got to the title, but like as a title reigner or as a champ, or rather title reigner, as a champ, he really wasn't a finisher. He went to decisions, and most were close. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm a huge Bobby Knuckles fan, but like I think he should be able to win this fight. But if he's able to go in there and formulate a good game plan for Rob, man, really it could be a bad fight for Rob.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I've been saying that I don't feel great about Rob and where he's at in his career for a while now. Catch a little
Rob's
flack, but
Rob, for me, Rob's game has never evolved. It's always been the same.
yeah, that's 100%
This
accurate.
the same attack, that comes in and finishes with the kick, and he's very predictable.
5, it's all the same. Nothing's different. Yeah,
So I think at this point in his career, there are a lot of sparring partners that can emulate him. So I don't think this is a good fight for him. I think
that's very
Hazmat is a very sharp learner, quick learner, and I think that he can really put him away, hurt him.
Yeah, I don't disagree. But Rob, he may surprise us. Okay. Matt Brown says, like true Matt Brown style. He posted, not doing it again, I'm out. So Matt Brown retired, guys. He's not doing it again. He's out. I mean, I guess it
I think
was.
it's probably like with the Black Bees fighting this week in Derek Lewis, he's probably shit. He's gonna get another knockout. That means I have to fight 2 more times. I'm not doing it anymore. So he's probably just like, all right, I can see the KO title.
Well, he's also got several businesses and he's making lots of money on the side, so he can walk away.
I didn't.
Honestly,
go ahead.
Sorry, Joe. Honestly, I watched his season of Tough. I watched every season of Tough, obviously. I remember them making him out to be this monstrous killer, and then we see him on the show, and it wasn't what translated on the show. So honestly, for him to end up being actually a decent fighter, like a fun fighter, I would say, and holds the welterweight knockout title, and almost the organization's KO title. Pretty good career, man, for a fighter that I didn't think was going to pan out. Honestly, like I said, he ended up being a very fun fighter and a fan favorite. Like so, yeah, very good for him. I'm very very happy that he had the career that he had.
Yeah, I know he's doing a lot of house flipping now, hands on doing it, and he seems to have really taken a liking to it. So when that was all said, that was what came to my head right away. Mauricio Shogun Hua will be inducted into the UFC Hall of Fame in the Pioneer Wing. Yeah, we could kill there's no need to kick the horse there. Yeah, clear legend, clearly belongs there.
I'm watching a show about him on Hulu right now. Actually, I'm still waiting for him to make an appearance though.
Yeah. What's the name of the show?
Shogun. I was fucking around.
Gotcha. John Anik set the record for most UFC fights called on Saturday. They didn't say, from what I heard, no one said who he beat. So that means I just want to see if I know who had the record prior to that then if they never said who it was. Do you guys know who that is?
Goldberg.
Yeah, because they're not going to give him no fucking credit. If it was Rogan or something, they would have said it. You know what I mean? They were just like, he set the record. They didn't mention shit about who had the record before. I'm like, it was Goldie. It was fucking Goldie. I'm still waiting to hear what actually happened. There's a little here and there about it, but no one really says.
Kudos for him for being tight-lipped, but I'm sure he's probably got some kind of like I forget what that shit's called, but where like he had to sign a non-disclosure agreement or some shit like that, an NDA. That's got to be the only reason why he hasn't like said anything about it.
My assumption is, I mean, there is a chance he got a paycheck and an NDA. But my assumption is that he was fired for something that happened behind the scenes that would not be socially acceptable. And they agreed not to say it if he never says it. Yeah, Goldie's a real old school kind of guy. I'm not saying anything bad about him. I'm saying like
No Diddy type shit.
What's that?
Some no Diddy type shit.
Yeah, not even that bad though. Like maybe just a comment that wasn't right. You know what I mean? Like just maybe just something that simple. Just he was from the older day, meaning the guy, things were different. The attitudes were different. Yeah, that's just always been my assumption because it was cut so clean, so quickly. Nobody spoke about why, and they never spoke about why in retrospect. So, like, that's just my assumption, man.
Man, I'm not gonna lie. Like at the end of his career, or I guess not the end of his career, but end of his UFC run,
Horrible.
he got it redundant, bro. Like he was just. It's like he
Horrible.
didn't put in the work, and it was just like Joe Rogan says, he's bad." Like it was just he reacted off of Joe's reactions. It wasn't even like he was really doing a good play by play like he did. Like John Anik, there is no touching John Anik, man. Like I get it, Goldie's a pioneer, but John Anik's gonna be the guy that's carrying the torch for a very long time.
Yeah, I agree. I will say this. I'll give Goldie some credit and say as far as voice quality, listenability, him and Anik are probably even. Goldie's got a great voice to listen to talk about fights. I felt like he started, and I'm not being funny, I felt like he started listening to himself on the video game, and only trying to emulate things that could be cut for the video game or things that were already on the video game. That was really how I felt.
Making his own highlight reel.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually remember bitching about that. Like this motherfucker, it is not a video game. They will cut, oh yeah, I sincerely remember thinking that. Last one I got in the headlines. Ryan Garcia pot for Osterine picograms. Conor McGregor takes to social media, says, "I'm disgusted. Don't ever approach me when I see you." Something like that. Reminds me of this Sean O'Malley, this Osterine, and says I would spar you both and spark you both in a night or some shit. And O'Malley's like a super Conor fan, so his reaction was, he was having a fun, basically calling Conor a cokehead, and made mention that Conor took the comment down right thereafter, like shortly thereafter. I actually seen some comments around that said Conor doesn't want to fight O'Malley. If he took the tweet down, it was because Ryan Garcia will beat the dog shit out of him, and Ryan Garcia will get on a jet with his own money and fly to Conor McGregor to spar him and beat the dog shit out of him. And I don't think he'd think fucking twice about it. Yeah. If Conor McGregor tries to stand up with Ryan Garcia to any capacity, Conor McGregor gets knocked out. I believe that firmly. However, I think Conor McGregor versus Ryan Garcia as a pay-per-view is a massive fight for some reason. I think that him versus Sean does well, but I think him versus Conor, for whatever reason, would still be a massive fight.
Joe, I'm
Yeah.
going to tell you, be kind and rewind, brother. For him to stand in any capacity in boxing, in any capacity. If this fight was standing in a fight, we know Connor mops the floor with that guy. Like, yeah,
Okay, that's
in
fair. That's fair.
situational in a boxing ring. Yeah, he fucks up Connor every day of the week. But we all know in a fist fight, Connor kills him. One leg kick, that dude's done.
Yeah, that's fair. That's very fair, and I should have said it that way. But there's no world where you're gonna boxing spar him, and that goes fucking anywhere for you. I don't listen.
Picograms did not make the difference. Devin Haney can cry and whine. I seen him say, I've never fought someone in my whole life that was that much better than me. Bro, Osterine doesn't make him a better boxer than you. It might give him better conditioning. It might give him better cardio in the long run. Maybe at the picogram level, it definitely does fucking nothing, to be clear. And he's just a better boxer than Devin Haney. I mean, he outboxed Devin Haney. So, I don't know. I think Ryan Garcia is, right now, I think Ryan Garcia beats anybody on earth at 140 pounds with boxing gloves on. I think he beats anybody. Anybody that can get down to the weight, anybody that can get up to the weight at 140 pounds, Ryan Garcia beats anybody on the planet, in my opinion. YB.
Do you think that Ryan Garcia
Going on
would
with
take
that.
on Davis?
Are you there, YB?
But I'll tell you, can you guys not
I
hear me?
can now. I couldn't before. I can now.
Oh, my bad. I was just gonna say, as far as like drugs for boxing would go, like I personally feel there's some sketchy shit. I think you posted one day about it. There are just way many better drugs that Ryan could have done if that was like his intention, in my opinion. And also, yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter what he was on that night. That dude said it himself. Like, I was drinking, I was smoking weed like every fucking day, and I still went in there and beat your ass. There's no changing that for Haney, in my opinion.
Hey, Joe, before you jump on the mic, I've been trying to send Connor J through. I can't get him through. See if you can. Sanko, I know you were trying to get on the mic. Did you have a take on that?
I had a take on with Ryan Garcia taking on Tank Davis again at 140.
He'll beat the shit out of him. What do you think?
Tank Davis? I don't know. I don't know. I don't see it.
Hey, Connor, if you can't drop out and come back in, I can't get you to go through for some reason.
Yeah, that sucks. I like when Connor's on the mic. All right, so I'm gonna timestamp it out. That is I'm sorry, boys. I gotta write my stamp. I didn't have my damn notepad.
Right. Actually, hang on a second, Connor. I'm gonna drop Ozzy off the speakers. It might be because we might have too many people on the mic.
Oh yeah, we do. No, we don't. But whatever. Let's see. I'd like to get him on. I'll invite him to co-host if it'll give him a fucking mic. I don't give a shit. I just want to get his ass a mic. Anyway.
Somebody rile him up right quick.
Let me see. Cancel co-host invite. Cancel invite. There we go. All right, so that's all I've got. We're gonna timestamp that out. I'll cut out that little 30 seconds when I upload that shit to the other platforms. We're gonna go ahead and move over to UFC St. Louis. Derek Lewis versus Rodrigo Nascimento. Going down this Saturday. We're gonna hit each fight on the card here. Trace, you got anything you want to say about the card before we get going?
No. If you hear a little background noise, I got my kid in here, so just bear with me, guys.
That's all right. When you give your first take, Trace, I'm gonna disappear for 30 seconds. I'm out of shit to drink, man. So, listen, I'm now able. This has been a goal of mine for a little while. All the info I give you today is coming directly off of capmma.com. I am not using UFCstats.com. I am not using any other website. I will be giving you tail of the tape. Any stats or information that I quote or cite is coming directly off of our website. A, that's to plug us a little bit. B, it's for me to see how much more information is needed or what's missing so I can fill holes in what the site needs. I've already got one small hole I'm not going to bring up now. We're going to fill that within the next 2 weeks here. So I just really want to see how this goes tonight. I'm taking card order off of our website. If anything's out of order and you guys want to let me know, I'm not going to change the order that I'm doing them, but it would be nice to know if anybody notices that anything is out of order. All right. So, Trace, you ready? I'm going to take it from the top.
Yep, let's rock it.
All right, so I'm going to click over. First fight of the night is J.J. Aldrich versus Veronica Hardy. They're reporting over 30 books. Aldrich is plus 114. Hardy is minus 141. When I bring them up on the compare, let me see. Aldrich is, see, there we go, because JJ's got the periods in her name. She's not coming up right. I got to make that note, guys. JJ Aldrich periods. Sorry, guys, it's all a work in progress. All right, so I don't have tail of the tape on them, but I will in a second here. Let me type her name in a different way. Sorry, boys, you got to bear with me tonight. We're doing it this way. All right, so JJ Aldrich is 5'5", 67 inches of reach, fighting southpaw. Veronica Hardy is 5'4", 64 inches of reach, also fighting southpaw. Hardy's giving up 1 inch of height, 3 inches of reach. Both women got a stack of UFC fights on their record. We're not going to hit the stats too much. Veronica lands at 3, absorbs at 4. JJ gives 4 to take 4. About a takedown average per piece per 15 minutes. Trace, you got anything broke down on this fight?
Yeah, man. I looked at this fight, and I'm not the highest on Veronica Hardy. Her wins are against questionable competition in the UFC. Juliana Miller was obviously not a hot prospect coming off of tough, and has kind of proven that she's probably not going to translate too well into the UFC unless she gets with the right people. With that being said, though, I think this fight's a solid over. JJ Aldrich is historically a decisionator. Her fights almost always go over, even if she does get a finish. And then on top of that, she's tough. She's hard to put away. So I feel like the over is a pretty safe bet on this fight. But if you had to take a side, I'm probably going to lean with the JJ Aldrich side. She's fought the better level of competition. I do know she's a proven boxer, fighting a karate style fighter. Aldrich will be there the entire fight. She doesn't really slow down. She kind of keeps it the same pace throughout the entire fight. But we do know that Hardy does tend to slow down towards the end of the fight. So, yeah, I don't think a finish will come on either side. I think the over is a safe bet here. I'm going to go with J.J. Aldrich at dog money at plus 114, I believe it was. But, yeah, I would just take the fight goes over.
Yeah, fight goes over is a fucking lock, in my opinion. Absolute lock. These women are averaging 11 and a half or 11.46 and 13.36. It's just telling over a series of fights in a career. And with women's MMA, I'm telling you, it's really applicable. So to me, the over 1.5 will be free here. I also agree with you that this fight just probably goes over. Dead picks.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't really have a side for this one. Personally, I wouldn't touch it just because it's the first fight of the night. I think it could be so volatile. If you're making parlays, you don't want to, have your fucking first crush the whole thing. So, yeah, I agree with completely with the fight goes to decision. So yeah, if anything, I'll be parlaying that. But besides that, you couldn't get me to choose a side. I do like the Chase's take on Aldrich. I'm not mad about it, but like I said, me personally, I can't pick a side. So just give me the overs, give me fight goes to decision, and that's all I got.
Fair enough. YB.
So I actually like Veronica a lot in this spot. Partially because I don't like JJ. So I'll say that in the beginning. I really like her striking. I think she's got everything she needs right now. She's building back up. The UFC seems behind her as well. and she's really pretty. So give me Veronica for all the marbles.
I will say this though. I mean, she does have a very good cornerman in her husband and Dan Hardy. I mean, UFC experience, very good capper or breakdown fight analysis or analyzer in himself. So I'm sure they'll have a great game plan going into this fight. It's just whether she's better. Is she better than JJ Aldrich? So I guess we're gonna find out.
Agreed. We're not giving this fight anymore, though. That's all it's going to get. Next fight up is Jared Gooden versus Kevin Jousset. Reporting over 33 books. The average is plus 185 for Gooden and minus 233 for Jousset. On the stats for these boys, we got... It's still loading. We're going to have to work on that. All right, so Jared Gooden they're fighting at 170. Gooden is 6 foot, 77 inches of reach, fights orthodox. Jousset also orthodox, 6'2", 75 inches of reach. So one guy's 2 inches taller, one guy's got 2 more inches of reach. Weird combination there. Both of these guys land at a fairly high output. Jousset doesn't have too much in the can for UFC, though. He's 2 fights in. I know that he went to a decision in one, and I think the other one was a first or second round finish. I was looking at him earlier. And Gooden is coming off of a win against Truman and then 2 losses prior to that. For me, this is Kevin Jousset, easy cap. Yeah, just easy cap. I just don't think Jared Gooden is very good. It's weird to say it like that. I'm just not very high on Jared Gooden. I think he's a fade. Try not to bag fighters too much, but I think he's a fade in this situation. Jousset is an easy one for me. Trace, you on this fight?
I don't have a lot of interest in this fight. I'm not a big Night Train fan. I do think Jared Gooden has a puncher's chance in this fight, but he's coming off a win over Wellington Turman. Never been really high on Wellington Turman as well. And Turman has been known to have a questionable chin. I don't know if he really is a questionable chin or if he just hits that hard, but he's been put out a few times in his UFC career. I would lean the Kevin Jousset side, but I don't hate a dog play on Turman. We still don't really know what we have with Kevin Jousset, and I'm not trying to play juice on a guy that really hasn't had the chance to prove himself that much in the UFC. So, yeah, I'm off this fight as a whole.
Very weird statistic to see with a guy that's got a rack of fights. Jared Gooden has 100% takedown accuracy. Just weird.
Striker, though, that makes sense.
Yeah, I'd have to go.
Probably a sneaky takedown here and there, or just a single takedown in the UFC.
That's what I was going to say. He's probably got 2 or 3 of them in his whole damn career. Man, so you guys need to check out our tail of the tape. When you get down to the recent fights areas, it tells you the fight, the round, the time, the method. Pretty proud of this little deal here. Anybody else on this fight before I move on? That's good by me. I don't want to kill that one.
I just want to say don't hold the Cap MMA website against us when it's not his fault we can't read.
Yeah, that and like when you hear me having these issues, our tail of the tape is only about a week installed, and I got to find all the errors. Me holding it up for 4 months trying to use it each week while nobody else gets to play with it is fucking dumb. So I just got to go through it. Some of these guys are loading slow. I get to see that. I'll try to figure out why. Just shit like that, man. Anyways, next fight of the night, Charles Johnson versus Jake Hadley. Energy, let's go. 30 books. Charles is plus 137. Jake is minus 169 when we bring these boys up on the side-by-side. Charles Johnson is 6. Fuck, man. My bad, guys. I'm just not doing well on this tonight. It's new. I clicked something wrong. Fuck, man. I'm fumbling the bag today, Trey.
Hey, don't make excuses, man. Just roll with it. Don't quit apologizing. Let's rock.
Yeah, I'm just fucking
Shit,
trying
shit
to
happens. Shit happens. Just let's roll through it. Come on.
make it go smoother than it is. Charles Johnson is 5'9", 70 inches of reach. Jake Hadley is 5'7", 70 inches of reach. Jake Hadley gives one to take one, putting out three to take three. Charles Johnson puts out 4.5 to take three. Neither one of these guys are a real takedown threat. Jake Hadley's coming off of a loss. I'm a big fan of energy. I'm going to skip the fight altogether on betting because I like Charles. I follow him on social media. I actually follow him. I comment on his shit. I like the guy. So I see 100 ways for him to win, even though I know Jake Hadley is probably realistically the side. Trace, what you got on this one, bud?
Yeah, man. I think this fight's gonna be a pretty close one. I think it should be lined as a pick 'em. Honestly, Jake Hadley kind of hit or miss in the UFC so far. Mostly miss, I'd say. If my kid would stop stealing my mouse. Oh, great. Now I'm having technical issues, but
Don't make no excuses. Just roll.
I am, baby. Let's go. But yeah, I think Charles Johnson is just gonna outdog him in this fight, man. Not been most impressed by Jake Hadley. I don't think Jake Hadley's gonna be able to get the submission, even though he does have good submissions. I just think not Jake, Charles rather is just a durable fighter. Never been finished before, I don't believe. And I don't think we see that change here. I think either way you go, this fight goes over. I think it's another solid over for the parlay. But if there's a finish, it would probably be a late round finish on Charles Johnson. We know he fights. He usually fights from behind. He usually gives up the first round. So that I don't love. But Jake Hadley also gasses out a little bit. We know Charles Johnson will be there in the third round. So yeah, going to be a good fight for as long as it lasts, and I think it'll probably last the entire time. So it should be a high-paced fight, and yeah, it should be a fun one. Give me Charles Johnson at dog money. Dead.
Yeah, it's crazy. I was doing a little tape on this, just running things back real quick before the space started, and I was actually watching some tape on Hadley and Johnson. Um, yeah, my biggest thing with Johnson is like how you said, he usually gets up the first round, so I do think there is going to be opportunity for a live betting spot after the first. If Johnson is losing the first round like how he usually does. I do like that round 3 prop, but I do think the fight does go to decision. I think Johnson does win the fight too. I mean, I like how on the feet, how Johnson picks up like towards the second, and like still in the third. He's usually still there. He's game. We saw how we saw with the Azat or the Amzat fight with the Hadley. Yeah, he was kind of like giving out in the third round. He wasn't really as active. But Durden, I meant the fight with Durden. Yeah, I do like the decision for sure, and I'm gonna take Johnson. I do like that dog play.
Yes,
So
this has got Splitsville written all over it as well. So I mean, I think the split probably be a nice look as well. Also, I do know FanDuel offers a round 3 or decision prop. So I don't know if you can get a hold of that, Did, but that's probably a good look as well. You kind of cover 2 birds. You kind of lose a little value, but it should be still pretty decent at plus money, I'd imagine. Sorry, Dad, didn't mean to step over you, brother.
no, you're good. Yeah, it's good. Perfect. It's all I got.
In Fuego.
I don't know if you guys remember Charles Johnson's last fight, but he was fighting for his UFC life in that fight. I thought he lost, but he won the fight somehow. And every time this guy fights, I tell myself I'm not going to bet on Charles Johnson because he pisses me off so bad. So he's the exact opposite for me, Joe. I can't stand this guy because every time he comes on Twitter, he's improved. He'll tell you, "Oh, it's my time. Oh, I'm going to be a champion. Oh, I've made so many changes." And then he just sucks again. With all that said, I'm probably going to bet on fucking Charles Johnson again at dog odds and be sweating on the edge of my seat, hoping that fucker comes through. So that's all I
Yeah,
have to
we
say
are.
about
I'm
Charles
gonna
Johnson.
flip you on that. And Fuego, I'm clipping you on that shit, man. that was fucking awesome. I am absolutely clipping you out of pure love on that one, just so you know.
YB.
So I guess me and Fuego just came to fucking hate on this guy. I'll tell you, bro, he seems really positive, like a nice guy on Twitter. I have Hadley by round 1 KO, and I will do a backflip when it fucking happens. He crashed my parlay last time out. Whoever it was he fought, I don't remember. He crashed my parlay. So I've got round 1
Durden.
Hadley. I think there's had what?
Cody Durden.
Yeah, Durden, yes. So I've got round 1 Hadley KO. I think. Thank you. Johnson is just gonna get killed. He's just gonna get killed. Dude fights close with everybody. He's gonna give you the first round. And Hadley can fucking hit. This boy's got power coming off a loss. I think this is the right spot, and I hope it happens. Johnson, I'm pretty sure, also just signed a contract a little bit ago. You know how that goes generally whenever you sign a contract. They'll give you somebody they know you can't beat just to get the first one out of the way. And you're more than happy to sign on the dotted line. So give me Hadley by destruction.
Hey, like I said, he takes the first round off. So if Hadley's gonna get a finish, it would have to be in the first round while he's cold. But yeah, I think it's gonna be a fun fight. Like I said, I don't hate any of the I don't hate the decision prop on either side of this fight. Honestly, Joe, what you got next for us?
Tabatha Ricci and Tecia Pennington. These ladies are reporting over 29 books. Tabatha Ricci is minus 139. Tecia Torres, so she searches as Tecia Torres, but in the results, her last name is Pennington. So it is what it is. Both ladies, 5'1". Ricci has 61 inches of reach. Tecia has 60 and a half inches of reach. Leg reach on these ladies, 36 inches for Ricci, 35 inches for Pennington. Both strike at about 4.5 per minute. Ricci has a glaring weakness where she's absorbing at about 5 per minute. Ticia's only absorbing at about 3.5 per minute. Ricci has a huge takedown advantage, 3.3 per 15. Ricci's not even hitting one. Both women are coming off of wins, I believe. It doesn't say, but I believe Ricci beat Godinez by split, right? I gotta check.
Yes.
Yeah, I know she did, right?
And then Homegirl's coming off a loss.
Loopy won that fight. Loopy won that fight. That's my mistake. So she's coming off of a split loss to Loopy, and Tecia is coming off of a loss to Mackenzie Dern, split loss. For me, this is not just trying to find a free angle. This is the definition of a free over, in my opinion. Fight goes distance, most likely, in my opinion. Fight goes over 1.5 on every parlay. You just need to juice odds on. Fight goes over 2.5 on any parlays you're actually building. Just my take. Trace.
Yeah, man, I'm before YB gets over on the mic and starts hyperventilating over his girl, baby shark up in this bitch. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you why Tecia Pennington gonna win this fight. I think Ticia's gonna be able to keep the distance, man. I think she's gonna be able to. I mean, I know she gets taken down, but she's historically hard to keep down once she gets taken down. But realistically, she's got good takedown defense on top of it. It's just been girls that are stronger than she is or has size advantages. Um, I think she's able to keep her at a distance, keep keeping her at distance with kicks. And if this fight stays standing, man, she is at baby shark Tabatha Ricci is at such a striking disadvantage. I don't think she gets the finish, but she could definitely rack up some strikes. And yeah, I think she's gonna tune her up pretty fine. I know people are worried about the ring rust from coming back from being off for a while and having a baby and stuff, but like she's been a constant professional throughout her career. She's never had a problem making weight. She's never been somebody that's struggled with really anything outside of the UFC. She always fought the same fight. Girls that beat her are girls that are just stronger than her and bigger than her. And I just don't think what Tabatha can take her. So yeah, give me the over and give me Tecia Torres at dog money. I actually have her in a parlay, and I also have her straight up for a unit. In Fuego.
Yeah, I just want to know if Cap MMA is providing the stats on a fighter's record after having a baby. We need to incorporate that into our handicapping.
Man, that's a legit thing. So only 2 women have had a baby and then fought after, right?
Who's that? Dern and that one can.
GDR.
Leonardo was one of them too. I don't think.
Oh, GDR did it.
GDR's the only
Juliana
one.
did it. Juliana did it first.
She broke. Well, actually, you know who did it first? That would be old Lucky, your girl Lucky, because she got like a 20-year-old kid.
Really? Does she really?
Yeah, you don't want to know the story about that, Joe.
Yeah, not in this space, anyways. All right. Zabets, nice to see you on the mic, bud. Get after it.
Yeah, what's good, everybody? What's good, Joe? Shout out Cap MMA.
You today.
Yeah, I'm on Tabatha Ricci by decision on this one. I think she's gonna out wrestle her.
That's definitely her path. Is how if she's gonna win, she's got to out wrestle her for sure. Yeah, it's a pretty close line fight, so I don't blame you, man. Good luck. But definitely, even if you are on the decision for it, dude, just bet the over. I know it's probably gonna be a little juicy, but pretty sure it's a safe bet.
Yeah, if that over doesn't hit, I'll be fucking shocked, if I'm being honest. Like, I'll fucking shit the bed. All right, I'm just making some notes on shit here. We move on, Trace?
Let's rock.
All right, up next is Esteban Ribovics versus Terrance McKinney. These boys are reporting over 32 books. Minus 172 is the average for Ribovics. Terrance McKinney is sitting at plus 139. When you bring up tail of the tape side by side for these boys, both guys are 5'10". Terrance McKinney, 73.5 inches of reach, 40 inches of leg reach. Esteban has 69 inches of reach, 39 inches of leg reach. So he's same height, but he's given up 4.5 inches of reach. That's going to be significant against a guy like Terrance, in my opinion. Esteban is averaging. He's only got 2 UFC fights. Stats are a little slanted, but in those fights, he's landed over 6 per minute, absorbed at 3. Terrance lands at 4.5, absorbs at 2.5. That's a phenomenal ratio. I've looked at these stats hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, probably thousands and thousands of times. It's a phenomenal ratio. Terrance also averages 3.5 takedowns per 15 minutes, while Ribovics is only averaging 0.9, so 1. Both guys got knockout power. Terrance 7 knockouts, Ribovics 6 knockouts. I know Terrance is a dog here. For me, I think if Terrance can control the pace, and if Terrance can control the pace and move aggressively, I think that he could get it done early. I think that his window closes by the second, in my opinion. But I'm probably going to take a little shot on Terrance McKinney here at dog money. Trace, what do you got?
Yeah, man. So clear glaring hole in Ribovics' plan is that he just can't stop a takedown, man. So yeah. So McKinney has the path there with the wrestling. I just have a funny feeling about this fight, man. Like, obviously, if you're gonna bet McKinney, bet round 1, 2 props, specifically on FanDuel. They're great for that. You can get the two rounds lumped together usually for a pretty good odds. And it also gives you that extra little bit of cushion just in case. As you start fighting guys in the UFC, it's harder to get the finishes. Especially once they figured out your game plan like that. I mean, you kind of know what the road work is with Terrance McKinney. But yeah, I think you played the submission props in this game. I think if he's gonna win, it's probably gonna be the submission game. But I feel like he's been training with a good camp long enough, and that they know that he needs to work on the cardio and slowing the pace. I kind of want to take a shot on Terrance McKinney at a decision prop here. It's probably gonna be pretty fucking crazy because I know everybody's gonna be all over the over because it's a Terrance McKinney fight. But yeah, if he's able to come out here and work the game plan and not try to go for the kill, the wrestling he could wrestle this man for 3 rounds and get a decision. I know that's not what he wants, but it's the path of least resistance. So yeah, I'll probably be on the submission prop, but I don't mind a sprinkle on the decision prop, especially if it's mad juicy.
Yo, what do you think I'll get on McKinney submission round 1?
I feel like it's gonna be a pretty hot prop, so probably plus 250, 300, something like that. It's probably not gonna be nothing fat.
I'll be honest, for the risk there, even though I think it's the path and likely, if I'm not getting plus 400 on it, I'm probably not playing it that way. Yeah, I just probably won't. Because you got to figure his submission is going to be plus 200, plus 180, right?
But I think if you go for round 1 submission prop, it's probably gonna be pretty chalky, or I wouldn't chalky. It's not gonna be even money, or it's not gonna be minus money. But I think if you play the late round submission props, which is where I think the submission would probably come. Yeah, I think that's where you probably get those money. Those lines are pretty juicy numbers. Probably plus 13, plus 14, and higher.
Nice. I wonder if I'll be able to find something that's like a round 2, 3 submission, where they group them together.
FanDuel has it.
Do they? Then I'm sure DraftKings will have it when I get over there too. I'm looking at our site right now. It's only got rounds and money line. I haven't really been hitting the rounds. This one's set at where'd it go? Set at 1.5. Over is plus 180. If you think that submission is coming in the later rounds, you almost have to hit that over at plus fucking money. You're getting almost 2-1 on it.
Yeah, like I said, I have a funny feeling like it might go over. So I'd probably play it. But yeah, plus 180. That's good money on that. Better times. We're on the McKinney fight. What you got on this fight, man?
Nice to see you. Better.
Nice to hear from y'all too, man. Yeah, okay, y'all said the over is 1.5. What's that line?
Plus 180.
Plus 180, bro.
Wait, are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh my dude, I didn't even know that. I'm about to put money on that right now. Come on, that's easy. McKinney's best rounds is in the first round. Esteban is gonna have to be very fucking careful because McKinney is strong at wrestling and his fucking power and his punches are fucking devastating. All he has to do is weather that first round. He'll probably get it like at the very end of the second round, the knockout.
Man,
You like Ribovics a knockout in round 2?
Yeah,
it's funny though. Go ahead. Go ahead, better.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, yeah, Ribovics, round 2, late round 2.
So if you were overseas, them books think of it a little different. Matchbook and Marathon line it flip opposite, minus 141, plus 158 for the under, or plus 168 for the under. But BetR, well, who else here? Cool Bets, plus 185, plus 185. Sport Book, plus 185. Patty Sport, plus 185. The LSB UK, plus 180. Yeah, I don't see any of the US books reported here, but fuck, man. If you get plus money on that here and you don't take it, and you think that shit's late, like, I'll be honest with you, if you think it's late round, you're better off, like, you're gonna make better money. Just don't take Esteban, don't take Terrance,
just take the over. Like, if you think it happens late rounds, if you think these boys are going to go 1.5, don't even bother taking a side on it, man. Just take the fucking over. It's better odds. Minus 170, plus 138. That's what you're getting on the money lines. It's just take the fucking over. You're getting better than you would have. You're clearing better than you would have on either side of it. Zabets.
Yeah, this fight right here is honestly a tough one for me. I'm gonna wait till the weigh-ins to see how it's looking. But I got a question for you guys real quick. If you could please go over the Charles Johnson versus Jake Hadley, like just quick, where you guys' thoughts were on that?
Pretty much everybody liked Charles.
No shit.
As the dog?
Y'all like Charles?
Yeah, am I wrong about that, Trace? You like Charles? I said my problem is I'm a fan of Charles. No, I shouldn't have said everybody. That's not right. That's
So
not
I
right.
like the over. I like the over and split, but I am taking. I'll take a dog shot on Charles Johnson at decision with decision prop. But I like the overs.
What's he
But
over?
Infuego said he fucking sucks. So Infuego said he fucking sucks.
He said who sucks?
And he said Charles Johnson sucks, but he's still gonna bet him in. That's what he said.
Is he over 2.5?
I'd
Which
imagine.
one?
Charles Johnson
Yeah,
does suck, guys. Come on.
Come on, he's not that
over
bad.
2.5. Hey, over 2.5 is minus 270. They're giving you nothing on that.
And he
Yeah,
better
that's not
cut
worth
that
it.
he better cut that rat tail off too. No more of that tail coming off of his head. Cut that thing off. He'll be better.
You're right about that
That
one.
shit is
Shit, man. Whenever he had that shit dyed green, it looked like a moss on the back of a shiny stone.
all right. So next up is shit, I thought it was the one after this. Okay. Next up, Chase Hoover versus Borshchev.
This is the people's main event right here.
Yes, it is. This fight on Twitter is fucking hot. People are all over this fight. I've seen conversations, comments, retweets. Like, people are all over this fight. Anyways, load these boys up. UFC stats here. Well, I'm still on our website, but I was selecting the option there. Over 33 books. Chase Hooper is plus 123. Borshchev is minus 152. The over 1.5 is set at minus 135 by DraftKings. The under 1.5 is set at plus 105 by DraftKings. And I had refreshed the odds. DraftKings is also giving plus money on the over on the Terrance McKinney fight, just to go back. Anyways, Borshchev plus minus 135 to go over 1.5, plus 105 to do it under. When I load these boys in the side-by-side comparison, Borshchev's name is so fucking long that it throws the alignment off. Whatever, man. What? Come on. Jesus Christ. Anyways, Chase Hooper is 6'1", 74 inches of reach, 41 inches of leg reach. Borshchev is 5'11", 69 inches of reach, 41.5 on the legs. Chase lands at 4.8, absorbs at 3.5. Borshchev lands at 5.8, absorbs at 4. Takedown's not a real thing you're going to talk about with Borshchev. Chase Hooper averages 1.5 takedowns per 15 minutes. A lot of people on Chase Hooper. I've seen a lot of guys give a lot of really good arguments for Chase Hooper here. I've thought Chase Hooper has been improving for quite some time. However, if all of you guys recall, I was all fucking high on Chase Hooper for his fight against, was it Levitt and he looked like shit? Or was it Fiore and he looked like shit? Either way, I can't remember, but one of his recent 2 fights, I was pretty high on Chase Hooper, and after that fight, I felt very fucking differently. Trace, what do you got?
Yeah, man, I'm Slava Claus all the way, man. I'm not seeing the love for Chase Hooper. Like people are trying to say he's the better wrestler. No, he's the better submission grappler. He's a better jiu-jitsu practitioner. He's not the better. He might be a better grappler, but he's not a power wrestler. He's not somebody that's going to shoot doubles. Like yeah, Slava gets taken down, but Slava also gets right back up. He's hard to keep down, and I just don't think that he has the big boy body to hold down Slava Claus. I think he's going to get beat up on the feet until he's able to get a takedown, and as soon as he gets taken down or he takes him down, he's going to get right back up if he's not able to just snatch the neck up on the transition. I do know Slava gives up the back a lot in transitions to get up, but it works until it doesn't, I guess. But I don't love that, so that is a hole for Chase Hooper to get the finish. But to me, the discrepancy in the stand up versus the discrepancy in the wrestling. Give me the wrestler. Give me the better striker, man. Like he is by far a better striker than his advantage in striking is way bigger than Hooper's wrestling advantage or perceived grappling advantage. So yeah, give me Slava Claus. He probably gets the finish. The one thing we do know is that Chase Hooper does not have much head movement. He's there to be hit, and Slava hits pretty damn hard when he connects. So yeah, I think it's only a matter of time before he puts Chase Hooper down.
Chase Hooper, he got KO'd by Garcia is what it was. Steve Garcia in October 2022. But I had thought Chase Hooper's striking was looking better and better and better. And then if I recall,
His kicks look better, but that's about the only thing. It's only because he throws about 500 of them now.
yeah, I was watching him in training, and then in the fucking Nick Fiore fight, like he had put out volume, but he looked horrible, like with the hands. And I remember being like, fuck, that was the worst take I've ever given. So I'm going to skip Chase here. I don't like Slava Claus myself, so I'm probably going to skip this one altogether. Better times.
Hey, didn't you just said he averages 1.5 takedowns per 15 minutes?
Yes.
That stat should tell everyone who's going to win this fight. It's fucking Slavakos, man. Come on. This dude is a way better striker. He is an elite striker. And no one can tell me that Chase Hooper is going to be able to take that left hook. That left hook is something special. It is a thing of beauty. I love watching it. He's going to get knocked out with that left hook. Chase Hooper cannot hang with this man. And what else was I going to say? That fight against Fiore should also tell everyone how this is going to go. That first round, now I'm not going to lie, Chase Hooper threw an amazing elbow. He put everything into that elbow. So much so that Fiore stopped fighting. He could not fight back for the rest of the fight. Think about that. Fiore, for the rest of the fight, round 2, round 3, could not fight back. Chase could not put him away. Slavkov's back.
Chase looked dumb by the third, bro. He looked dumb. His punches looked
But Fiore was done in the
not
first round.
professional.
That is my point. Fiore was done in the first round, and Chase still couldn't get the job done. Slavkovs is going to knock him out with that left hook, man. Round 1.
100%.
Preach. And Fuego.
So I used to shit on Chase Hooper. Because he came in the UFC when he was 18, 19 years old. He's now 24 years old, and I'll tell you guys, I think he's improving. I think he has improved, even though he isn't fighting the best competition. Right? We all see that, but he is doing a lot on the grappling scene. I mean, with Aljamain and Moicano and guys like this. So we all know he's legit on the ground. The only question is, obviously, can he get it there? My only question, though, is that the line on this fight seems way simple to me. It just seems like it's too good to be true for Slava Claus. And if we're just breaking down the fight, we can do that. But the market tells us something too, and it just screams to me like something's fishy. Does anybody else feel like that when they look at a line? like minus
I felt
125 Slava clause?
I felt
I
like that
think.
at first because he opened as like a 170, almost 200. Then, like, as soon as the week happened, the week started, he was bet down to a minus 135. And I was like, yo, I feel like someone knows something I don't. But it more feels like now that the sharp bettors were waiting for the dumbasses to bet on Chase Hooper because of the grappling. And then they took advantage of that price because now he's back up to like a minus 150 something.
Yeah, I think people just got on Twitter and seen that somebody said that, oh, yeah, I like Chase Hooper. So, yeah, now everybody likes Chase Hooper because, betting on your favorite fighter because you like their personality is always a successful betting style.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's kind of like betting on T-shirts or Baby Shark because she's a good-looking girl. Because that's what some dudes do.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. That's what YB does, man. Don't be calling my boy out.
You leave me out of this, bro.
I can't blame you, though, man. She do look good.
It's a solid tactic, guys. It's a solid fucking tactic. All right. Oh shit. YB. Oh, he was clapping. All right, I'm gonna roll it on to the next one. Trace, you good with that?
Let's roll.
All right. So a fight I am excited for: Billy Goff, Trey Waters. 33 books. Billy's sitting at plus 133. Trey is sitting at minus 164. Those are the global averages. You can find them at various odds similar to that at your books. When I load these guys up on the side by side, any day now. Come on, fucker. Today.
So I did a poll on the Cap MMA account today that I did a slight favor, a slight underdogs poll. Basically, who do you think is going to be the one that pulls off the upset this week? So they're all slight favorites, like minus 130, minus or plus 140 at the highest dog. So they're all slight favorites. Just if you have a chance to bet or go vote on this poll on the Cap MMA account, drop your post, man. I want to see who you got. If you think it's somebody else that pulls off the upset this week, or if you think it's multiple of the choices, drop it down in the comments, man. I'd love to see where y'all guys line up at with us.
Yeah, I took Terrance, and it was only like 14% of people took Terrance when I hit it. I was like, damn, I feel like, damn, is Terrance really that bad right now? Anyway, Billy 5'10", 72 inches of reach. Trey Waters is just massively bigger. I see that it won't load over there, Trey. Dead picks. I don't know why those two aren't coming up. Trey Waters is 6'5", 77 inches of reach, 5 inches of reach, 7 inches of height. They both only have 2 fights. The stats aren't super relevant, but Billy has put up crazy stats, averaging 10 strikes per minute, significant strikes per minute, absorbing 4 takedowns per average 15 minutes. Trey is at 6.5 out, 4 in on the strikes. Not much to talk about in the takedowns. I have the issue with this fight that I'm a firm believer that when you give up too much reach and you give up too much height, like it just makes it hard. It makes it easier for your opponent to have advantages in any type of grappling. When someone's wingspan is physically much longer than yours, or they are physically taller than you, in the grapples, in the scrambles, you're just going to lose that most of the time. It's not, if the talent is equal, the bigger guy is going to win almost every single time. But Billy Q by KO, motherfucker. Or Billy Goff by KO, motherfuckers. Let's go. I don't know what line I'm getting on it, but I think I'm betting it. Trace, what you got on this fight?
So I got on Billy Goff, Billy Goff. You got me worried about saying Billy Q now. I got on Billy Goff pretty early in the week. I got him at plus 142. Got a decent line on him. I think he's pretty sure he can still be had it with plus 132. So not too much line movement on it. I feel like everybody's pretty split in this fight, but yeah, I think this fight is really just going to be who's tougher and who can endure the damage better. Honestly, I think Billy Goff only knows one direction, and that's forward. And he's gonna walk this man down. And if he doesn't get caught on the inside, trying to get on the inside, once he's on the inside, he should have a distinct advantage. I do worry about the knees and the elbows from Waters once he is on the inside, but Goff's a dog, man. And if you're gonna bet a dog, there's probably no better dog on this card to bet because you know he's gonna fight for your fucking money. Uh, Honestly, I think one way or the other, somebody probably goes to sleep in this fight. I just know that Billy Goff gets tested almost every fight, at the beginning of every fight, and then he always rises to the occasion. So like he always fights from not really behind, but he always fights after getting hurt or caught, and then it's like he springs alive. He's got that Mississippi mean in him. That oh shit, Nate the Train, baby. He got that Nate the Train in him. Yeah, give me Goff, man. Like I said, I got him at plus 142 early in the week. I got him 1.5 units on him. Yeah, I feel pretty confident in him. In Fuego.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it better. I'm all over Goff, and it's one of my better top plays of the weekend. I mean, I just don't think Waters is that great, to be honest with you. And I think he fights with his hands down. I think his defensive grappling is suspect. I think he can get controlled. I think Goff has power. I just think he's going to look to land takedowns where Waters can be controlled. I also, you worry about Goff with the just getting starched. I just don't think it's going to happen. I think he recovers pretty well. He's powerful. He's got some grappling, and I think his cardio is better. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Goff is coming off a serious car accident after his last fight. In some of the interviews, he was talking about, hey, he put it in perspective about how lucky he was, and he's back into the UFC to fulfill his dreams. So I love Goff.
Better times.
All right, look, man, I like Goff too, but I think his first two fights that we've seen him, the Contender Series and the UFC, should tell us a lot. Like, his defense is horrible, and he has a march forward style. Now, that last fight against I forgot, was it Yatsumoto or something? I forgot his name, but whatever. Yeah, there we go. That he actually showed improved footwork, which I believe saved him from some of the damage that could have happened. But it's not going to be enough for Trey Waters. I didn't even know he was 6'5". That makes me even more confident in him. This man knows how to use his length. There's very few fighters that know how to do that. Trey Waters knows how to use his length to his advantage. Even if you are able to get on the inside, that does not mean you are safe. He is still an accurate striker. And if you get in on the inside, that's when he sits down on his punches. If you charge him like that, he will not back away. He will stand his ground and make you feel his power. That's going to be even more dangerous for Goff. Goff is going to get knocked out in this fight.
He might, like I said, I feel like somebody's getting finished either way or the other. I just feel like I'm on Goff for this one for that. But yeah, it's gonna be a fun fight, man. Two dogs, two guys can come forward. I just know that Quinlan gave him the fight that he wanted. Quinlan didn't pressure. Quinlan kind of just stood at range and let this guy just, swing on him basically and made him look good. But yeah, go ahead.
I don't think Quinlan tried to pressure, but he kept getting tagged. Waters has really good defensive striking. Every time Quinlan tried to attack him, he was prepared for it. Goff has that same forward style, and I think Trey Waters is gonna be able to do the same thing he did to Quinlan, but to Goff. But Goff is gonna be more pressured, and he's gonna feel it.
We will see, man. Good luck. I always love when we're on the other side of fights. I always know I have a good argument for the other side. So always good shit, better times. Joe, what's next?
Man, the fucking fight of the night here. Robelis Despaigne versus Waldo Cortes-Acosta. These boys are reporting over 32 books. Despaigne is minus 204. Waldo is plus 166. The over is set at 1.5. It is plus 166. The under, which I opened the tail of the tape, the under is minus 210 for minus under 1.5. When I bring these boys up on tail of the tape, Despaigne is 6'7", 87 inches of reach. His leg reach is unknown. Waldo Cortes-Acosta, 60, or I'm not, sorry, it gives it in inches. 6'4", 70 inches of reach. Both of these guys expected to weigh in at 261. Robelis can't really be metered. He's had one fight. His average is so high that the numbers aren't realistic. Listen, man, I don't even know how Waldo, I can't understand for the life of me how Waldo is only plus 166 and how Robelis is minus 204. Robelis should be like minus 350, minus 400.
Well, that's the question marks, isn't it? What happens if he gets out of round one? We haven't seen this. We haven't seen really fight a good level of competition. Really, honestly, almost every guy he's fought is either had one fight and never fought again, which was him, or has like a win or two, and then you have Parisian, who's just not even UFC caliber. So it's just like too many question marks. Yeah, sorry, Joe.
No. I love it, bro. Get after it. I'm not. Go ahead, finish up. I'll tell you.
Yeah, but so for me, it's just like, yeah, Robelis probably wins in the first round. Salsa Boy's had boxing matches. He's been knocked out before in the past, and from pro boxing matches. So Chen was a question at the beginning of his career. He's kind of held up in the UFC, so maybe improved head work or head movement to be able to absorb the punishments. But I'm steering clear of this fight outside of probably playing the round 2 and round 3 props for Salsa Boy. I'm hoping that he survives and then gets a late round finish, or he gets starched early, so we have a chance of fading Despaigne with somebody that actually has a better chance of hopefully getting a finish on him. So Despaigne should win, but I'm gonna play some late round props for Salsa Boy.
So I'm going to say this. Robelis is very good. He is not. It is not. His knockouts are not fluke. However, I have taped him. There's not much to tape, but I've taped everything there is on the guy. If I could bet that he throws a high kick and slips and falls and gets back up, I would bet it. I would bet it. I would bet the fuck out of it.
He tries to go for everything with that one kick to get it over with. He throws everything into that one kick.
Yeah, but no, sometimes it's not. He throws them like he doesn't set. He doesn't set the foot. He doesn't set the other foot. He doesn't set the left foot before he throws the right high kick. He doesn't do it. He just, like, it's a punch, like, just you're in motion, you're moving, just fucking throw the kick. And like, he doesn't remember to plant his fucking foot. Robelis's biggest problems all come from Robelis. If he doesn't finish Waldo in round 1, I'm confident that it will be because Robelis didn't do what he should have done, meaning there will be situations where he fails himself, where he sets it up, where everything looks right, where he throws stupid strikes, just shit like that. I do see what you're saying, though, Waldo is durable. I mean, I get it. If you're going to take Waldo, though, take him by decision. Or maybe like a real late round KO, like round 3 KO or decision. But I think it's Robelis pretty easy, and I still stand by he should be minus 350, minus 400, in my opinion. I don't know who was up first. I'm just going to throw it to Better and then over to Infuego.
Okay, so I agree with you, man. He should be a minus 350, 400. That man is the real deal when it comes to his kickboxing. And that little high kick where he slips and falls, it's It's not because he doesn't plant his foot. It's because he throws. Sometimes when you're throwing a kick that you really believe in, you forget to take a little off. If you throw it too hard and it goes up, you just end up tripping on yourself. I've done it so many fucking times and embarrassed myself. But that man, here's one thing that gets me on him. I believe he has the fastest knockout in pro MMA history, and he's got 2 of them in under 5 seconds. No matter how bad you are at MMA, that is not an easy thing to do because no one else has done it. Under 5 seconds, he just goes and I think one of them was just a high kick. The other one was a high kick followed by the right hand, all in one motion. He times his shots very well. And I believe he's going to be able to catch Acosta before Acosta can fucking close the distance and get in on him. It's going to take like a really durable guy and a wrestler to get their hands on this man, because even if he goes past the 5 rounds, Robelis doesn't really fight at a high pace, or at least I don't think so from the short amount of tape we got. It doesn't look like he fights at a high pace. He just picks his shots. He picks them very well, and he hits so hard. So I think, yeah, him by knockout round 1, it's easy.
Yeah, the thing I would say is where I see it coming is Waldo. So like I've taped Waldo real well. I had some battles over Waldo in his early career where I took up for him, saying that he won't. I never said he was like the best guy. I just had really watched him. Waldo's hands slightly drop before he counters. He holds his hands up when he moves, especially when he's fighting on his back foot, especially when he's fighting sideways, like having to circle the cage, which is going to happen in this fight right out of the rip. He's on his back, and he's going to have to be because Robelis has 87 inches of reach, the longest reach in all of MMA, longer than Steven Struve. That shit is insane. So you're automatically on the back foot. You can't rush in. And my assumption is that this is really my assumption is that he's going to throw a punch that misses, and Waldo's going to drop his hands. I'm not talking about like all the way down to his side. I'm just talking about from like chin level to chest level. He's going to drop his hands to try and load up a counter, and Robelis is going to slip another one in and fucking just pulverize him. That's how I really think it goes down. In Fuego.
Yeah, you're going to see some guys in the mean streets of Twitter on Cortes-Acosta this week. And I could actually make the argument to go with Cortes-Acosta just because of the unknowns. But the unknowns we're seeing is just in the defensive grappling department. Oh, and, not getting past the first round and this and that. But, Joe just talked about it. He's got a 6-inch reach advantage. He's faster. He's more athletic. He's more powerful. And I don't know about you guys, but I watched that last fight with Salsa Boy against Arlovsky, where he was a big favorite, and he looked terrible against an aging and almost done Andre Arlovsky. The pace was just terrible, and you just wanted more. I'm not going to sit Saturday night with money on Waldo, or my butt would be clenched with Waldo Cortes-Acosta in this fight. So I'm going to take the older, more athletic freak for the KO round 1 or round 2.
Some some might even say that Arlovsky won that fight, spite the UD for Waldo. Zabet.
Yeah, this line right here, -200. I agree with you, Joe. This shit is so sketchy. Like, I think the first time Despaigne, his first line when he first fought was like probably like -500, I believe. And now it's -200. It's really sketchy. So
And he knocked the dude out in like seconds, bro. Like,
yeah, true. Parisian. I mean, that slip was kind of crazy too. Like, for him to throw that kick, like in Taekwondo when I did it, like it's a lot about like hitting your mark and like hitting your strikes. So like when you kind of like stand on your tippy toes and then you try to like hit the target. You know what I mean? So like maybe that's why his stance is like that. But I'm gonna play the Spaniard by round 1 knockout, and then I'm gonna hedge with Costa.
I mean, I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at you at all. Are you just gonna hedge with like the cost of money line, or are you gonna take him like decision?
Yeah, I'm gonna just take a money line as of right now, but I don't know. Yeah, if he survives that first round, then yeah, for sure, just probably money line.
Anybody got bet on lineup? I'll bet he's minus money for first round knockout. YB?
I'm just gonna give like an idea, basically. Waldo sucks, although obviously Usman's not here to go Waldo, Waldo, Waldo. I would go with over 1.5 if you wanted like a fuck it bet, other than just pinning down like a prop or exactly when Despaigne or whatever's gonna do it. I can't sit here and go, oh yeah, Waldo's gonna be the one to beat him. Not gonna happen. You give me a good plus number on the over 1.5, and I'll probably chomp.
All right, Joe.
Yeah, that's.
I think that's enough time on this fight. We beat this one down to death already. What you got next for us?
What you mean, bro? I'm just fucking with you, Trace. I'm just fucking with you. All right, up next we got Alex Caceres and Sean Woodson over 34 books. Alex is sitting at plus 158. Sean is sitting at minus 200, even over the average. You can see Sean or Alex as nice as plus 170. And you can see Sean as nice as minus 185. God, that's actually fucking horrible. That's all you can get on him. All right, let me load these boys up. Tail of the tape here. Side by side. Alex Caceres is 5'10". Sean Woodson is 6'2.5". It's funny that where it reports from, we get the half inches. That's from UFC.com on this fight. So it's just funny that they report the half inches. Bruce Leroy has 73.5 inches of reach, 41 inches of leg reach. Sean Woodson has 78 inches of reach, 44 inches of leg reach. Sean lands at about 5.5 per minute, absorbs at 4. Bruce Leroy at lands at 4 per minute, absorbs just under 3 per minute. Takedown probably won't be much of a concern in this fight. Okay, my issue with this fight is that Sean Woodson has had a lot of UFC media coverage leading up. Not a guy that believes in all the fakes or whatever, but I just feel like maybe the UFC, maybe someone sees something where Sean should win this fight glaringly, because he's been on 2 different UFC specials for his life story. And he's got another one coming up this week where he's going to get an interview on one of their shows, I believe. Sean Woodson is getting a huge push here. I like Bruce Leroy. I think if the fight goes the distance, Bruce Leroy probably edges it out. But I'm going to skip this fight wholeheartedly. Trace picks fights. What you got, bud?
Yeah, man, I'm staring off this one. I think the line's a little too wide for Sean Woodson. He probably should be the favorite, but I don't think he should be that big of a favorite. I think Caceres could potentially get the wrestling going. He does have decent takedowns whenever he decides to use them. Definitely has good jiu-jitsu once he gets down there. I think he's a submission threat. Sean Woodson has had a little bit of a run going on, but it's not against the best level of competition. Not that Caceres is a world beater himself, but I do think he's been in there with a lot of good people and has shown to be able to survive in there with a lot of those people. Yeah, this fight probably goes to a decision, probably a good over, but I'm not betting it.
Yeah, well, I'm not being funny, or I'm not just trying to stretch it, but you got to consider Bruce Leroy second, third round submission. Like, if you're looking at any props, you probably got to look at Leroy for the late round submissions, right? Like,
Yeah, I said I like the submission for him, but I just don't think he
yeah,
gets it. I think he has a clear path, which would be going there wrestling. I think he's strong enough to get the takedowns. And like I said, I do think the submissions are there once he gets down there. But we do know, like Bruce Leroy is a gamesman. He likes to go out there and strike too. So he could go in there and just decide he wants to try to beat Sean at his own game, which I think there Sean probably pieces him up on the feet. But yeah, you never know. It's MMA. But yeah, I'm not betting this fight. YB.
I don't like what's gonna happen because I like Bruce Leroy a lot. I think he's a really cool guy. Sean Woodson really pissed me off in his last fight versus Jourdain because I had Jourdain, and that dude just played his game. Caceres is 35 in the 145 division. We know the magic age at these lowered weight classes. He's got a loss to Jousset and Chikadze. Between them only beating a Rosa and Pineda, I feel like this is kind of like an obvious UFC thought he might have a chance to go somewhere, and as soon as he lost to Chikadze, they're like, all right, well, time to find a new toy. I don't like this one anymore, and that's what's going to happen in my opinion. He's going to lose.
all right. Dead picks. I'm over on the YouTube. Sorry, everybody, to take a quick breather. I just want to point out, if you look under Woodson, it says 3 knockouts, 3 submissions, and then even footnotes the 3 first-round finishes. Pretty dope. I wasn't sure that would pick up the way it was supposed to, but it did. Shameless plug there. That's it for this one, right, Trace? Me and you are both off of it. YB.
Yeah, just anybody has a take on it. So yeah, let's move forward.
All right. So up next is Mateusz Rębecki. I don't know if I say that right, but I do try. And Carlos Diego Ferreira, if I say that right. Over 30 books. Carlos is plus 297, and Rębecki is minus 400. The over is set at 2.5. You're getting plus money, plus 135 for the over, minus 175 for the over or for the under. When I bring them up on the side by side, only Rębecki is reporting. I don't know why Carlos Diego is not reporting. Might be able to make a
Diego
really quick.
Ferreira.
What's
He
that?
goes by Diego Ferreira in the.
Diego Fajes, almost 40 years old, or just turned 39 actually. But yeah, he's kind of outside of his win against Michael Johnson, which another guy that's older and up in age. 3 fights where you got out wrestled. I don't think Rębecki's going to go the wrestling route here. I do think he's going to stand and bang with him. Less dangerous. Uh, I think it looks more like the Razabov fight where he's like I said, stands there and just puts a pace on this guy and forces him to bang, and power for power, strike for strike. He's definitely the more powerful guy, and I think he like I said keeps the fight standing, eliminates the chance of a submission from Carlos Diego Ferreira, and gets the knockout here again. Give me Rębecki KO. Let's go round 1, late round 1.
Yeah. Okay, so I didn't mean to say yeah. I like Rębecki here too, but I did get the tail of the tape to work. It's just that Diego only goes by Diego Ferreira, like Dead Picks tried to point out. Diego is 5'9", Rębecki 5'7". Diego has 74 inches of reach. Rębecki has 66 inches of reach. That's massive,
You
Trace.
ever been hit by T Rex? Neither is he, but he's about to be.
I mean, I can't really argue with that. And I just got a black screen on my second monitor over here. Rębecki lands at 5.3 per minute, absorbs at 2. That is an unheard of ratio for almost all the fighters. Ferreira ends at 4.6, absorbs at 3.4. Rębecki averages 4 takedowns per 15 minutes. Diego is less than 1. Notable in the statistics is that Rębecki is on a 16-fight win streak, and Diego Ferreira has 4 first-round finishes. I just wanted to get it out there. I'm really trying to look at all the stuff. This is all on our site when you type their names in, guys. Some of the searches are a little off because of periods and shit, but I'll get it all to transfer over correctly. I'm on Rębecki too, but I think if anybody does want to bet Diego Ferreira, betting him under 1.5, betting him by, I know it sounds crazy, betting him under 1.5 by knockout probably is not a dumb bet if you think Diego Ferreira is the side. I don't think he's the side. I'm trying to devil's advocate that there. YB.
I just think they're trying to clear some of these old contracts out. Diego's going to get murked in the first round. Nothing fancy to say. He's just going to die.
I can't even argue with that, bro. If I'm being honest, there's no real argument for that there. I'm gonna move on to the next one. We ain't got a bunch of hands here for this one, so I'm okay with that. Up next, I'm curious to see where everybody's at on this one. Alonzo Menifield and Carlos Ulberg. 33 books reporting average odds. Alonzo Menifield is plus 207. Carlos Ulberg minus 263. The over is set at 1.5 rounds. You get plus 114 for the under, minus 145 for the over. When I load these guys up into the side-by-side, Alonzo Menifield first. He is 6 foot, 76 inches of reach, 47 inches on the leg reach. Ulberg is 6'4", 77 inches of reach, so only an inch of reach, even with the 4-inch reach height advantage. 43.5 on the leg reach. So he's got 2.5 on the legs. That means something for kicks. I've been watching that stat as much as I can lately. Ulberg, crazy ratio, 7 landed per minute, 3.5 absorbed per minute. Alonzo Menifield puts out just under 4 per minute, absorbs just over 3.5 per minute. These guys do have a little bit of takedown credentials, grappling credentials, but I don't think they're going to be much of a factor here. I'm going to let Trace get after this one first. Go ahead, bud.
Man, I've gone back on this fight back and forth so many times just because the resume for either of these guys is not that great. Like, Alonzo's got Justin Jacoby, which is probably the best win of either of the guys, but like he's got Jimmy Crute, Misha Sirkunov, Askar Mozarov, lost to William Knight, and then you have on the other side you have Ulberg, whose wins are Daon Jung, Ihor Poterio, Nikolai Nekomaranu, and Tufan Chukwi. Like, most of those guys aren't even in the UFC anymore, or on their way out of the UFC, or like don't have winning records. It's kind of a shit fest for this fight, man. Alonzo Menifield seems to be the more complete fighter. He does have wrestling. We do know he's a powerful striker. He probably has the bigger power, the bigger one punch changing power of the two. I think this fight is going to be a stand up war until somebody gets cracked, and then it goes from there, man. I think I'm probably going to go with Alonzo Menifield, man. I just think he has more chances, more ways to win. And then, I just feel like of the two, he's probably fought the better competition. So, yeah, give me Alonzo Menifield in a fight that I am not confident in. But, is Alonzo Menifield the favorite? I don't even know what the line is on this fight.
Absolutely not.
Okay, so he's the dog. So, yeah, so give me the dog shot. Give me Alonzo Menifield at dog money.
Plus 200.
Plus.
I see Enfuego throwing that hand up and down. Go ahead, Enfuego.
I couldn't be more opposite of you on this, Trace.
Hey, I respect it. Go ahead, bro. Not a strong take, trust me.
I'd say if they fought 10 times, I go Ulberg 5 times by decision, 3 times by KO, and Menifield 2 times by KO. I just think Ulberg is on the train, man, with momentum, and he's looking better and better every time he comes out. And we look back when he fought Kennedy, when he absolutely shit the bed late. We haven't seen that since then, and he's just looked really good. But he hasn't gone for the jugular. You know what I mean? He's sticking and moving and hitting his spots, and his footwork is good, and his movement is good. His cardio has been on point, and I just see him getting better and better to the point where he's going to be a contender soon, and we're going to have to face the fact that Carlos Blackjack Ulberg is here and going to contend. Menifield, yeah, he's won I think 4 or 5 if I'm not mistaken. He had a good fight against Jacoby. I was there in the arena. Jacoby had him rocked though. It was a hairy battle for Menifield at the end, but he has power. But I just think Menifield is going to fade late, and Ulberg's going to take over and either get the decision or KO.
In Fuego.
That wasn't Fuego.
No, that was me. I took off the thing.
Oh, my bad. Fucking YB had his hand up. He must have left.
I'd put it down. It's okay. Y'all covered most of it. Menifield sucks,
Yeah, that's
basically.
I'm excited for this fight. I'm on Ulberg. I know, but I'm gonna look for the Ulberg KO prop and see what I can get on it. Yeah, I just want to see what I can get for it, and might be something I want to do. All right, up next, Walking Buckley and Naz. Come on,
Nurse
man.
Sultan Ruzabov.
There you go.
Ruzabov.
Roosevelt and Buckley. Over 29 books. Buckley is minus 156. Roosevelt is plus 126. The over 1.5 is set at minus 140. The under plus money at only plus 110. If we load these guys up into the side by side, working on that. Walking Buckley is 5'10", 76 inches of reach, 40 inches on the legs. Ribovics, I'm still saying it wrong, I believe, is 6'5". Is that right? Damn. That's a massive fucking height advantage there. 76 inches of reach still, so same reach. 44 inches on the legs. Ribovics only has 2 UFC fights. Buckley has a rack. The stats aren't going to be super relevant, but Ribovics has landed at 4. He's absorbed at 3. Buckley lands at 4. He absorbs at 3. Ribovics have shown 3 takedowns per 15 minutes. Buckley at 1.5. I'm not a guy that's very high on Buckley. For me, the problem is I think he got that kick and everybody became so high on him. I felt like he became overrated. He's a really good fighter. Sultan's got like 25 first-round finishes. I don't think it goes down in the first round. But I think this is his fight to win. I will be fading Buckley. Trace.
Yeah, it's hard. It's a hard fight just because you don't really know what you have in their Sultan or Ruzabov rather. A lot of questions on whether he's legit, if the power is really what it is, if he's just a big body that can put it on somebody quick, and if the fight goes long, can he still be there? I don't really like betting on fights like these where there's a lot of questions that we haven't really had a chance to check out yet. But man, he is so explosive at 170. Also, this fight is Ruzabov's first fight at 170, so it's going to be interesting to see how he makes the cut. This might be a fight where I sit back and wait and see how he looks on the scale for the fight, and if he looks drawn out or wore out, I might jump all over New Mansa here. But you have to think that he's the more well-rounded fighter because he is a submission guy and he does seem to have the power on the feet to put people away when he connects. So, yeah, I'm gonna wait until the day of for the weigh-ins to see how they look. But I'll probably end up jumping on Joaquin Buckley just because I know what I have with him, and I know if the fight stays standing that he's probably the more or should definitely be the more explosive, more powerful, better technique striker. So yeah, I'm probably gonna ride with Joaquin Buckley on this fight, especially if the how he looks on the scale will determine whether I bet it or not, I guess. So give me Joaquin Buckley. But it does kind of worry me that all of Twitter seems to be on him. I do know that Twitter fades does seem to be a real thing, and yeah, so that might steer me from betting it all as well. So we'll see. But I see Eddie Law trying to get on the mic, so throw him a mic, then we'll get going. YB, what you got?
I'm going with Buckley because I really appreciate his skill set at 170 right now. He's got the anti-wrestling as well if he needs it in his back pocket. I like his boxing a lot. He actually moves his fucking head at times. He's not perfect at it, but he actually does understand what he's doing. And what's his name? Rizabov looks really stupid. So give me Buckley.
Eddie, I seen you requesting, brother. You got to take on this fight.
No, my toddler finally went to sleep, so I was going to hop on and make sure everyone able to say something. But on this one, it was. I mean, we all know Buckley's he was beating the drum just to get on the card and then get main event and everything. I think he got come in this one, but I think he's seeing that weight cut. He's going to be. I think he's going to be betting on that weight cut. Having to be rough for homeboy because it is his first at 170. He's a big dude. But I don't know if Buckley can't end it in the first round as long as the homeboy makes weight in a decent way. I think Buckley's in trouble. It would suck to see him lose in front of his hometown though, for real.
Yeah, I'm one of those people that I'm still not sure if I like him. He seems like he's kind of funny, but he's really arrogant at the same time. Yeah, I'm not really sure how I feel about him, but like you kind of root for the guy, especially in his hometown. And I mean, I'm not a narrative guy, but if you are, kind of fits the narrative that he should win. It's his hometown. He did ask for this on that press conference. So
yeah,
interesting.
No, he's a nice guy. Like we talked to him like one-on-one and everything, but when the cameras and the microphones are out, man, he's gonna come off very, very arrogant and confident. But like one-on-one, he's pretty chill.
All right. If nobody else has to take on this fight, we'll move forward.
Yeah, did you just beat me to a mic request there, Trace? I don't know what happened.
Every time, old son. Gabe, what you got?
Yeah, I kind of went back and forth on this one with the Buckley and Ruse fight. I think Buckley we haven't seen his chin in a long time get tested, other than like the Curtis fight where he just kind of got caught. But like he got knocked out by like DiTarico, and that's a pretty bad look right there, even though it was like a head kick. And then like he kind of struggles with those bigger fighters too, like Imavov and DiTarico and Holland. And he kind of has to, even like the Jordan Wright fight, he had to like get straight into the pocket. And Wright was, doing a decent amount of damage before obviously he just, he gets hit and turns into jelly. But yeah, I think it's kind of like whoever lands first here. I assume that Buckley isn't going to try to play the outside game here. So usually when that happens, he usually ends up getting stiffed. And then with the other dude, it's kind of, you're banking on like him finishing in the first round, because if you look at some of his like tape, he just kind of folds late. Like he doesn't quit or nothing, but he just like he doesn't have the gas for that. Plus he's going to be down at 170, which I don't know how he's going to make that weight. Being 6'5", he's already huge at 185 too. But I mean, his last fight, I was kind of shocked of how good his hands looked, even though like Dumas sucks. Like everything he was touching Dumas with, like it just looked like it was bad.
I'll just agree with you, Gabe. He sucks so bad. Eddie, what you got?
Hey, sorry, I I read a little bit ago, no, earlier today. I read something about this being a short notice fight. Anyone know how long Ribovics has gotten to make this weight? Like as far as like notice?
I do not.
Okay, because if it's like he's calling it short notice, right? So if it is quote unquote short notice for him to make 170 when he hasn't done it yet, that's definitely something else to keep an eye on.
I mean, it can't be that.
I feel like I saw it was like 3 weeks.
It can't be that long, right? Because Buckley asked for this fight on during whatever conference that was.
UFC 300.
Oh, geez, so it's definitely not a full camp. All right, well, we'll see what happens, man. Damn.
I think most of Ruse's losses are at 172. So, and his chin is kind of ass too. So it's like he's gonna
But
come down.
didn't he call for another quick fight in his last win though? Because it was a quick win.
I'm not sure, but even then, like you see, like fighters come down and then they like struggle to make weight, or even like they make weight and they get in the cage and they just like get hit and they just fall over. Like Paul Craig, like his chin is like already bad, but the way that Kaio like put him out was kind of bad because Kaio generally like doesn't put anyone out, and like the way he just turned into jelly like that, it was kind of. I was like, yeah, this is one of Kyle's fights they just set up for him. They put Craig at 170 or 185 or whatever fucking weight it was.
YB.
This man, Raza blah blah blah, just fought March 30th versus Dumas. That's who he fought and asked for a quick turnaround.
All right, Joe. What we got next?
Main event time, right? Derek Lewis versus Rodrigo Nascimento. Odds on these boys are minus 156 for Derek over 33 books and plus 127 for Rodrigo over those same 33 books. The over-under is set at 1.5. You're getting plus 114 for the over. You're getting minus 145 for the under. So, quick note. This is our second week of doing. I've been working on a chat GTP like model that will break down and analyze fights. It's not it's not as easy as just type it in. Last week it called it at a close split 55% in Pantoja's favor, 45% for Ursig. It said for both guys that what happens in the later rounds would probably be important. It nailed it pretty much on the head. I did Derek Lewis versus Rodrigo this week. It set Derek Lewis at 60% win probability, a 55% knockout probability, 5% sub probability, which means 0. I don't think it'll actually drop it below that. It set Rodrigo at a 40% win probability. It set his KO at a 25% probability and his submission at a 35% probability. It's got Lewis set at minus 150 and Rodrigo set at plus 150. Those videos are now uploaded to YouTube, Facebook, Rumble, and on Wednesdays I will upload them here on Twitter. But for whatever that's worth, that's the statistical breakdown and the statistical probability of what will happen. I personally, everybody loves Derek Lewis. It looks like the UFC's throwing him a bone, something that's winnable for him. Big card for him. Does anybody else suspect that Derek Lewis may be retiring soon? Trace, what do you got on this fight? And then I'll ask that question at the end.
Yeah, man. Clear Gilly season here, man. I think Derek Lewis goes out there and jumps the Gilly on this one. No, I'm fucking with you. No, I think this is a clear fight where Derek Lewis is definitely getting a step down in competition. I like how that person came here and just to drop a negative comment and then hauled ass out of here. But yeah, I think Derek Lewis probably cracks him pretty early in this fight. I think this is a perfect Derek Lewis fight. You got a jiu-jitsu guy, not really known for standing, and Derek Lewis has good takedown defense against especially lower level of competition. Uh, Mutual opponent would be Chris Dawkins, where Chris Dawkins knocked this guy out. And we all know what Derek Henry did, or Derek Henry, what Derek Lewis did to Chris Dawkins. So MMF doesn't always work out, but I think this is a definite setup spot for Derek Lewis. Pat your back, throw your back for that last fight that he had. So yeah, give me Derek Henry or Derek Lewis by KO round one. I don't think it's gonna be a flying knee, but sure would be cool.
Listen, I brought up the Darce breakdown because I thought it was hysterical that his win probability is 60%, but the knockout probability is 55%. So he knocks him out or he doesn't get it done. I agree with you. I think it's probably got to be first round. But I think the under 1.5 is a little safer. Gives you that window, if I'm being fair. So if you could get the knockout under 1.5, I think that's probably a better look in my opinion. Anybody else on this fight? Man, that's it. Cooked. Nobody wants to talk about Darius Lewis, Trace. Shit. All right, let me dock the time. That's 2:12. I don't know if you're listening, Dead Picks. All right, that'll kill the card. We got some fight announcements going. There's not a ton of them today, and then that'll end what we're doing tonight. I like to mix in the roster watch. Credit to the at roster watch. What is it here? At UFC roster watch or at roster tracker. I don't know if they're the same account. They use the same website and post all the same shit. I don't know. So they both fucking posted it. It's not clear what they have going on. And then I follow Big Marcel 24. I'm just open and honest about it. He's the best guy to follow for posting every single fight and dedicating his profile mostly to that. So I just follow him and use him to figure out what fights have been announced lately. I put them in order, then I try to run them off and mix in the call outs and the internet beefs and the fight agreements and that type of shit. There's not a ton of them tonight. First, UFC Vegas 93 on June 15th. Lucas Almeida, will fight Timmy Karamba. So yeah, I mean not a huge fight if I'm being honest. Yeah, I probably won't even bet it. UFC 303, June 29th. Peyton Tablet, I know I say that a little wrong, is fighting Giannis Glamori. I don't know. I like Peyton. I'm sure I'll dig into that fight. You like Peyton, Trace?
Dude, that is a weird fight because it's such a low level, like it's such a step down in competition for Peyton Talbot. It's like, what are we even doing here?
Yeah, sometimes I wonder why too. I don't know. What is
Maybe we're just getting him out of that cheap contract and get him into his next contract so he's happy.
Maybe. Maybe the matchmakers see something they feel makes it closer. I don't know. I like Peyton on that fight. I think it's pretty clear. UFC Vegas 94, July 20th. Kurt Hulabaugh will fight Kenan Kershewski, if I say that correctly. Yeah, that's going to be Kurt for me all day. He's been in the space. I loved him on Tough. I think he's a good guy. Whether or not I will bet him will probably take some tape work, but fuck it. He's my pick, and I'll stand behind it. What you got on that fight, Trace?
Who's he fighting?
I don't know. Kenyan Kershewski? I don't know. I don't know. I'm just taking Kurt. That's my guy.
Yeah, I can't say without doing tape, so I don't know who the other guy is.
That's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. I'll have to look it up, but I like Kurt a lot. This is one I think is a good fight. UFC 304, July 27th. Arnold Allen will fight Giga. Man, so I was really high on Arnold before the Max fight.
All right, so since I was on the Arnold Allen side or the Max side for the Arnold Allen fight, I can completely confidently say that I do believe Arnold Allen wins this fight by decision.
You don't think the kicks make the difference?
No, I think Arnold's just ran into Max Holloway. It'll probably be a classic overcorrection, and we'll probably get, I don't know if the line's already open or not, but if we get Arnold Allen at dog money or close to pick'ems, like he's just such a way more complete fighter of the two. You kind of have to, and you can't always rely. Like we've seen Giga struggle throughout his career to get the finish. It took him a long time to get a finish in the UFC. So, yeah, I think that Arnold Allen's tough. It's gonna be hard to be put away, and I think he probably edges out the decision there.
All right. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if you are the same when you
Put
feel
it
real.
this way: his dad could beat up Giga's dad. That's all you need to know. Have you seen his dad?
Right.
His dad's a yoked motherfucker, big old bodybuilder.
Yeah, I have seen him. I've seen some of his videos and coverage. He's I'd like to see more on his story if I'm being honest. All right, so I'm curious if this one's going to get a reaction in here. UFC Abu Dhabi, August 3rd, Corey Sandhagen will fight Umar Nurmagomedov. So a lot of people are saying it's a huge step down for Corey. Corey views Umar as one of the best in the world, says that how can he consider himself one of the best in the world if he can't beat everybody, and pretty much praises Umar like he should. He's going to take the fight. Yeah, man, fuck, Umar just humps him, right? Like, I would like to think that Corey has good enough takedown defense to stuff him. If there's any stand-up action whatsoever, Corey Sandhagen makes him look like a fool. But even if Umar can't get him down, and even if Umar can't control him against Corey Sandhagen, he probably spends the entire fight attempting to do so. So, yeah, unless Corey can make distance, I don't think that's going to be a very exciting fight. I hope Corey makes distance and knocks him out. I don't ever root for Corey Sandhagen. I hope Corey makes distance and knocks him out. YB.
So I actually have a picture of Corey under my pillow that I kiss every night, hoping and praying that he beats Umar in August. So I'll be doing that until the fight happens, and I'll let you know how it goes.
Right on. You just got to bet on him. You got to bet for champion by the end of the year. Like, why you got so much on Corey? What's going on there, YB?
I hate that Umar is from Dagestan. I hate that his name is Umar and he looks dumb. Basically, is it. I'm also tired of all the privilege they get. This dude has been out for a little bit. Now he's getting like a perfect fight in Abu Dhabi because it's always fucking Abu Dhabi. So yeah, I'm gonna be hoping and praying that he loses.
Whatever,
So
hater.
I saw a post. I wish I remember who it was so I could give credit. But it was Casual MMA. He said that it's the typical Dagestani cycle: get booked to fight, dodge or fight cans, dodge all top contenders and say they're scared of you. Finally get scheduled to fight a top contender, pull out so you can go juice yourself in Abu Dhabi, and then get the fight, then sign for Abu Dhabi so you can fight dirty. Pretty funny. It is how it works out for him. So that's pretty funny. But yeah, in a world full of Conor McGregor's, Triple C's, and whoever else tried to do it, it's nice to have a Corey Sandhagen who not only doesn't chase titles, he chases the guys in the lower divisions and just tries to kill their fucking momentum before they even get up there. So yeah, like he's not chasing other divisions. He's not even chasing his belt right now. He's just ready to fuck up anybody. So I respect that shit.
Yeah, I'm not mad at Corey for it at all. I do agree with that Dagestani shit though. Like, listen, Charles was trying to say something without saying something when he said he wasn't fighting Islam in the desert again. Um, he, you can't always get the good translations, but I like Charles and I tried to follow some of that shit. And what I could pick up from the translated videos and shit, and the articles that I hit translate page on, just whatever. I mean, what the fuck else am I supposed to do?
I will say this: it is funny that both Islam and Khabib both had struggles very early in their UFC careers, maybe even their first fights. Gleison, Debow arguably beat Khabib, and then we had I forget the guy's name, knockout Islam, and then after that, no longer had a problem. It's like, did they start doping afterwards? Did they learn from that? It's like all of a sudden. I mean, I get it. Shit happens in matchups are matchups, but kind of funny after they both have struggles in the UFC, then they never struggle again, other than the Volk fight for Islam, the first one.
Yeah, was it for some reason I think Eddie Law is going to be the guy that remembers this. I believe it was Abu Dhabi that when Khabib was on the card, the guy who did the weights was smacking it. He was sliding the weight before.
Sorry. Go ahead.
You remember it?
Dude.
Scales weren't even settling, bro. He was like 155. You were like, what?
Pay attention
Bro,
to some of these guys that read the scale, dude. And haven't been in there obviously for official weigh-ins. There's times we'll be, we'll all be sitting there, our cameras, computers, and all that shit out, and we'll be looking at the commission, right? So the commission kind of stays to the side until the fighters come in to hit the scales, and then when they hit the scales, there's always one guy that reads the scale, right? Every once in a while, you'll get somebody that goes up there, taps the fucking weight thing. It'll still be moving, and they'll be like, oh, 155 and a half. Like, they always go to halves, or they go like the one over, right? So they go, if it's like a 155 fight, they go 156. But it'll be super quick. And I'll be looking around like, did anybody else catch that? Because that's just fucking weird. And 100% I saw that on that one. Like, Emin goes, 155, all right, cool, let's get out of here quick before they check on us. Like, what the fuck? So it's yeah, that is hilarious. You're absolutely right. That had me laughing, man.
yeah, bro, I'll never forget that. That dude was like slapping the weight down and almost just catching it with his other hand on the scale.
155, once, twice sold.
Yeah, like he would smack it with his left hand, and like it was like he was ping ponging it back with his right hand. It was like smack 155, smack next. You're like, holy shit, guy! There's no way you cut that weight. I actually was trying to figure out if they had already weighed him in the back and shit. That's how fucking suspicious it was. And Khabib made weight, no problem. Looked thoroughly hydrated, and we've all seen him almost die during weight cuts. He didn't have that problem over there. Didn't have that problem over there at all. That's all I will say. All right, so Alexandra Pantoja wants the O'Malley fight. He wants to go up. I talked earlier about the clip. Yeah, I think Alex is too small. What seems more likely is Merab is saying that him and O'Malley are fighting at 306. O'Malley's comment was, it's not official yet. But all paths seems to point to Merab versus O'Malley somehow on the Ocho card or the Noche card. Like, how the fuck? Whatever. O'Malley's a huge star. People love him. He'll probably get to fight in the fucking sphere. Who are we actually taking? Like, I'll be honest. I was on Merab for a minute, but the closer it gets and the closer the fight gets, I actually think I'm going to be on Sean going into that fight. I'm struggling with it, though. Merab is relentless like a dog, but if Sean can stuff him, which we have seen Sean do to really good grapplers, and he can push him back and make him stand up, Merab is going to be in a lot of trouble, man. He's going to be to the point where it gets silly, where he has to shoot for takedowns that don't make sense. And Sean's then going to be able to post up, hand on the back and start punching him in the side of the head. Like, I don't know. Eddie Law.
First of all, do not for 1 second underestimate what Merab did by coming out saying "Viva Mexico" with the Mexico flag and all that. That was huge, right? Like, I kid you not. I had uncles texting me like, "Who's this Merab guy? Where's he from in Mexico?" I'm like, "He's not Mexican. He's Georgian. All right, chill out with that shit." But it was big, right? And so it might be like a little tongue in cheek and stuff like that. But the UFC's not stupid. They're gonna be like, that's marketable. Yeah, we're gonna take that money too. So if they put them on that card, absolutely, he's gonna have the crowd on his back. As far as the fight goes, man. Yeah, it's a really weird one because I think everybody, when the fight first got announced, or not announced, the fight first, I think it was the Sean O'Malley said, yeah, Merab's next or whatever. Everybody was kind of like, oh, Merab's going to kill him. But don't underestimate, Sean O'Malley and Tim Welch, their ability to game plan for these guys. I mean, I thought Aljo was going to do a lot more than he did against O'Malley, right? I mean, and that's Merab's training partner. So I think Merab's gonna hold his own really, really well, and I'm still picking him to win. But it's gonna be one of those like everyone's been waiting to see, the lead up to that fight and kind of crossing their fingers to make sure no one gets hurt.
Yeah, you think how big you think that card is? If it's Noche in the Sphere, that's not fair, but I feel like even without the Sphere, I actually feel like that's a big fight. I think that's probably Sean's best seller. Merab has become popular. People like him. I think he's hysterical. So, like what you're saying about don't underestimate that video, I don't disagree. I like Volk. I've never liked Volk. I like Volk because his videos are hysterical, where he dresses up like an old man, or he's out there doing fucking, concrete work, talking about, no, I used to fight that guy. I'm telling you, I fought that guy. Like that shit sells, man. It sells, and that lookalike that Merab has
So
for
good.
Sean every time. Well, he's been in like 3 or 4 videos
Yeah.
now, and every time I'm like, is that really Sean? Like when they did the one outside the Sphere with the schmo, I was like, wait a minute, bro. I rewound it like 4 times. I'm like, hold on,
Me and you both,
that
dude.
can't be Sean.
No, me and you both. But no, he's like on you're talking about Volk, right? And I don't want to harp on this too long because I'm sure people still want to talk about this fight, but we talk about like for years we've talked about market yourselves, guys, as far as fighters goes, because I mean the UFC, as much as they're a promotion, they don't really promote the fighters that well, right? Like I mean, as far as like selling each individual fighter, getting people to care about them and everything. So all these guys have had to go out on their own. Max Holloway, daddest man in the world or whatever he was calling himself, doing the streaming, doing the YouTube stuff. Connor has Mac Life. I mean, he started an entire company because of it. Nate, someone sort of doing the same thing. So all these fighters starting to have to market themselves, and people are finding out, oh, holy crap, Volk's actually hilarious. Robert Whitaker is actually fun to watch on a stream. Who else is out there? Aljo's breakdowns aren't that bad. Hammer Cejudo is not for me, but still.
Can't Sentences has an awesome fucking YouTube channel. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. So these guys are finally going out there, and girls are finally going out there, putting themselves out there, and having to promote themselves, and it's paying off for these guys big time. So I'm really hoping that this is like a huge, like a big trend. Because again, like if you can, get invested in a fighter, like you will watch them no matter what card they're on.
Yeah, so I'm going to be 100% honest. The Nate Diaz, Jorge Masvidal horseshit boxing match that I don't really care about. I care about it as much as them sparring and posting it on the internet. Like, I don't fucking care. I will say this. I'm going to watch their YouTube channel lead ups because they both have great production. Whoever does their shit, both of them have good music, good production teams, high level video, great editing. I can't wait to watch both of their Road to the Fight or whatever shits. I'm going to love it. So, like, yeah, I think it's a growing market for them. And the UFC does provide that's where they come in, making these guys popular. All right, so Gilbert Burns wants to run it back with Kamaru Usman. He thinks it gets him to a title shot. Does beating Usman at 170 right now get him to a title shot, Trace? Does that?
I mean, at what point do we just accept that Usman isn't winning anymore, and then he'd be on a 4-fight losing streak if he lost to Gilbert? Like, does a 4-fight losing streak, even though you are considered, or I guess not considered,
ranked?
But like
he's ranked.
Yeah, but like considered one of the greatest welterweights of all time. Also, like controversially, obviously, but like how much does that carry? You know what I'm saying? Was it more that was it more that there was an old dead division that didn't really have a lot of life in it anymore? He beat Robbie Lawler, a couple other guys that are mostly old. Like most of the guys that he beat are older guys or in the division. So it's like, was it just a lull in the division, or was he really that good? So yeah, so for me, no. I guess I got off on a rant there, but so for me, no. Beating Usman probably doesn't get you to the title shot, but I don't think he beats Usman either way.
Yeah, I don't either, to be honest. I don't think Usman looked bad against Chimaev.
Exactly. It's not like he lost to Chimaev, but it was kind of controversial. Could have went either way a little bit, but yeah, I don't think he looked bad. I think he looked as good as anybody has, especially considering that he wrestled.
Yeah, I think he looked way better than Gilbert versus Chimaev. Like, I don't know. Just my opinion. Both of them, whatever. All right. UFC Mahmoud Muradov was cut. He's coming off a canceled bout with Michel Pereira in a no contest. Before that, whatever. I'm not going to bring his Tapology or search him up on the site right now. PFL. All right, so you know me. I'm PFL time, and you know I don't like him. Fuck him. I don't care. I hope Don Davis hears this. He's a prick. PFL Sioux Falls card in South Dakota on June 28th. Listen, man. There's a lot of guys with big voices that give the UFC a lot of shit for the Apex. The UFC has said that they were going to add 1,000 seats, and then I think I remember it saying it got pushed off because they're going to blow out a wall and add 2,500 seats or some crazy shit like that to the Apex. And now, like, WWE and other places want to go there, but they still seem to catch shit, even though this is clearly going to be the best combat place that is not an arena on earth. By the time it's done, they still seem to catch shit. I want to be clear, PFL season is going down in a stadium that sits 3,200 people, and they'll give away half of the tickets. It sits 3,250 people, and they'll run a special like buy two get two free, buy one get one free. They might run Groupon, for Christ's
Sounds
sake,
fucking dope, man. I might go to one.
Yeah, if they come to your town, it's basically fucking free. You can sit on the floor for a couple $100. I've said to my buddy, I'll go. I want to say one of their events, floor seats were $140. Like, they weren't much. I'm not fucking trolling. I'm not making that up. That is dead fucking serious. I brought it up just like a month ago in here. I was naming off some of the prices to events, maybe 5-6 weeks ago tops. So yeah, I just want to point that out, that certain people with very big voices constantly hammer on the Apex, which is, even though in the front isn't a big arena, is clearly set up and then being reset up to cater to the athletes. Yeah, and nobody will have any problem with the PFL, who also has a ESPN deal. No one will have a problem
So
with this. That's what
does
I'll
that
have.
mean they're changing the cage size, or is the cage size staying the same?
Eddie.
Like if you're remodeling it to make it bigger, it makes more.
Oh, I thought you meant PFL gonna shrink because they're building
No.
small. No, I
The
don't.
UFC cage,
I don't
the
know.
octagon.
So Dana said early on they were going to do something to add 1,000 seats, and then I remember someone saying it was going to be 2,500, and it had been pushed off because, like, and then I remember someone, probably Bloody Elbow, reporting that they had pulled work permits, like 3 different work permits on the Apex in Las Vegas. So I don't know if they're going to move the size of the octagon, but it did seem clear that they're going to add seating. I don't know if it ever's actually going to happen because they've been talking about it for like a year and a half, but they've been saying it. Eddie.
Yeah, fuck, I almost spaced that. So my thing on the Apex cards, because I have a hard time giving a shit when people complain about the Apex cards, but not because it's like, oh, we got bitching at least it's a UFC card. No, if 90% of those cards were in a city, like everybody would bitch about that too. Oh, the card fucking sucks. It's watered down. That's why the Apex is there. That's why I keep telling people, like, whenever anyone pushes back on me on that, I'm like, look, would you pay to go watch this card in your town? The way UFC ticket prices have been like rising and rising and rising and rising, plus the economy, inflation, all that kind of stuff. You know, you got to pay parking, food, everything. Do you really want to spend all that money to go see a card that is not worth the price of admission, at least on paper, right? We've always seen cards that look like shit on paper that end up being pretty good. But that's my thing on the Apex. I'm like, look, the Apex is there for a reason. It's because the card is not, in my opinion, city worthy. Like 90% of those cards are not that good. So, but people keep harping on it. I'm like, all right, well, you know, whatever, man. I don't know, tell y'all.
I 100% agree with you, Eddie. It's like, is like, let's just be honest. Does Edson Barboza versus Lerone Murphy sell 10,000 tickets?
Hell no, dude. Hell no.
That's a card. That's an upcoming card. That's the main event. To send out the crew, the production, the team, rent the building, send out the legal team to set all that up, to get all of that going, all the money that goes into that, send all the fighters there, do all of that, and then the gate is not even going to cover it. It's bad business. And people could be like, oh, they got a TV deal, billions of dollars, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, but the model is still typically set up that the gate is paying for the show, the payroll, the show, everything that goes into it. Like, that's the point. And if you can't generate a gate that's going to pay for all of that, then do it at home where it's not free, but you know, ideally, you get what I'm saying. It's not free, but we're already here. Just fly the fucking fighters in, put them up in some accommodations. The production's here. We don't. It's cheaper than flying the team everywhere and flying the fighters there anyway. Like, it makes it possible to have all these cards. If we had to sell gates for all of these cards, we wouldn't have these fucking cards, and that's the truth. Would not get them. That's the failing business model.
And that's the thing about those cards. Sorry, real quick on the
No, go ahead.
as far as the gates paying for everything, you're right. But like, if you guys see some of these pay-per-views going to certain places, these cities are paying the UFC millions of dollars to have them go into their city. Like Salt Lake put out a ton of money.
I've been talking
Huh?
100%.
Yeah.
I've been talking about that. Like Saudi Arabia, there's no gate. They get $20 million to show up. People are like, why is Saudi Arabia getting that card? $20 million. They paid $20 million for the UFC to show up with a fight night, bro.
Look at
That's
this.
why they're getting.
Look at this last one in Rio. Okay, this last one in Rio, this last weekend. I haven't seen in a long time, in years. I haven't seen the UFC itself seemingly give such little fucks and effort about a pay-per-view card. I mean, you had audio issues, and I understand the facility's not up to date. It's not they don't even have AC in it, right? But like you're still the UFC, you're still the best in the world in terms of MMA promotion, and it just seemed like they were half-assing it. I know a lot of media people didn't bother going to it. I know a lot of the staff that works at UFC ended up staying in Vegas, and they they got some other people to work the card in Brazil. But look at that alone. There's no way Rio can afford to do that. They were just going over there just to go over there. I think, right? Plus, if you guys look at that arena, it's super small for a pay per view, and then people complain about the quality of the pay per view. All that kind of ties in together with the fact that the UFC wasn't getting millions upon millions to have that to have that card there.
Yeah, it's the site. So TKO, the most significant thing that's going to happen with the TKO endeavor or merger deal, whatever it is, Eddie, is that the UFC is going to be forcefully exposed to the model that eliminates pay-per-view. The WWE successfully eliminated pay-per-view and upped viewership and upped profits by charging site fees. Saudi Arabia pays $100 million. That is not bullshit. $100 million for 2 WWE shows a year. The WWE does over 150 televised shows a fucking year, and they pay $100 million for 2. So that model becomes more profitable. So like what you're saying is the reason I brought that up is, what do you think Brazil was able to pay? Like, what do you think? The UFC wasn't counting on the gate down there. They didn't go down there for the gate. The gate didn't make it worth the travel. Like you said, they're counting on what they were paid. So when they're looking at what they got paid, all right, if we had a $17 million gate, this is the type of card it would be. When you're looking at Brazil, realistically, you know what I mean? That's $10 million gate, $12 million gate. So, or $10 million site fee, $12 million site fee. You're only going to get so much out of it. So I agree with you wholeheartedly. Listen, Trace, are there any hands up that I don't see? Because on one screen it shows Better, Dead, YB all have their hand up, and on my device it shows no hands up.
Nope, nobody's hands are up.
All right, I'm just making sure because I got it open on 2 screens. And then my last thing, I saved this one for last. Thought it'd be a little fun to laugh about before we get out of here. Oh, I lied. Did everybody see the Anthony Smith Alex Pereira challenge?
I did not.
Dude, it's
I
awesome.
thought that was AI.
I love it.
It is fucking grand. Real quick, Patchy Nick says he's the best bantamweight on the planet and that he would sleep Sean O'Malley. By show of hands, who thinks Patchy Mix could sleep Sean O'Malley?
I'm trying to find out.
Yeah.
I'm 6 foot tall.
So I've said for a long time that 125, 135, always going to be competitive all the way across the big 3 promotions. There's too much talent down there. Eddie, I seen your hand up. Go ahead.
No, I don't sleep on Patrick Mix just because he's in Bellator. Okay, like at this point, the Pitbull brothers are kind of, in my opinion, over the hill. They're kind of done. If they came over to the UFC, they're gonna get smoked, I think. Although there is a rumor that Aldo might, so now that his UFC contract is over, he might jump over to PFL just to fight PFL Bellator, or what Dana call it, PFL or whatever. He might jump over there to fight one of those guys. But Patchy is a dog. Oh my God, I've never seen a guy like in Bellator anyway that's that good. I think he goes to the UFC. I think he'll be very successful. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, he'll be a long-time champion, but I won't be surprised if he sleeps some guys that nobody thinks can sleep.
Oh, yeah. So I'll be honest. Everybody that went to PFL from Bellator, at least Don admitted it, it was a huge roster upgrade for them. Bellator had a lot of top talent. Scott Coker with another 10 years would have made a significant change in the market. Paramount just didn't want to deal with it anymore. Scott Coker was building it, and he was getting talent, and the people that were with him were not going to leave him for the most part. Losing Scott Coker and losing the way that company was set up hurt the industry horribly. Better times.
When I was watching Bellator, like, no, don't get me wrong. Bellator has some really good people, in my opinion, but it doesn't look like the effort was put behind to promote these cards, from what I can tell.
Paramount was the parent company, and there was just no budget. And Bellator's cards, Bellator made like $10 million total profit one year, $30 million total profit another year. Like, they didn't have high profit ratios, so Paramount didn't want to put anything into them, and they bounced them around and shit. And yeah, whatever. Eddie.
The money's in short supply everywhere. I mean, you guys saw is it Showtime or HBO? Showtime dropped boxing, dropped Bellator, they dropped everybody, right? And so money's is tight. So I'm not surprised Paramount wanted out of basically a sinking ship at that point. And as far as Scott Coker goes, man, I covered a few of those cards. I went to Bellator 300 in San Diego. Everyone in like the Bellator people that were working there, I was talking to all these guys in the back. They didn't know if there was going to be a 301 or not. They ended up being one in Chicago, but that was that. But at 300, I kid you not, dude. Every single night, everybody, media and Bellator staff, a lot of Bellator staff, PR, everybody was at the hotel bar, and everyone was like reminiscing. And we all legitimately thought that was going to be the last one. There's no way we're going to get to 301. And everybody expressed how much they love Scott Coker. And so, I was very, very, very happy to see guys like CJ Title and all these other Bellator staff end up taking positions with PFL. But you're right. Like, had let's say Scott Coker leaves Bellator, a lot of these people stay because it's a job. But there's a lot of loyalty that goes towards Scott Coker. So, but I'm serious. I have known a lot of these people personally. I'm super happy that PFL kept a lot of them.
Yeah, the biggest miss that had zero chance of ever happening was the UFC not giving Scott Coker a job after Bellator got picked up by PFL. Dana and Dana is Dana, whatever, but they could have brought Scott Coker in at any level of fighter management, fighter relations, or matchmaking, and he would have been a huge asset to them. All right, this is the last one for sure. For sure. Anthony Smith said, I can't remember the fucking fight that it was, but somebody took AP's back and AP shook him off. And Anthony Smith made a comment that AP was a one-dimensional grappler and that he would have subbed him if he was in that situation. AP heard this. There was a translation video done, but it's legit. AP said, fuck that. He said, I'll put a challenge out there. I'll put 50 grand up. He said, I'll let Anthony Smith take my back and put both hooks in. And he has 5 minutes to finish me. If he finishes me, I give him 50 grand. If I stand up and get him off of me in under 5 minutes, he owes me 50 grand. At the post-fight press conference after Saturday, one of the reporters asked Anthony about it, and Anthony said, so wait, what are the terms? If I submit him and and they explain it to him, and Anthony says, fuck yeah, I'll take his money. And they asked Anthony, how are you going to do it? He said, I'll fucking choke him out. But it legitimately seems like this may go down. I think it's fucking awesome, and I wish fighters were more like this a lot.
I will say this though, I think his wrist control is something crazy.
Yeah. Like, my thing about it is, the thing that makes me really like it is, I know Anthony, win or lose, will be a good sport about it. And I know that AP, win or lose, will be a good sport about it. It won't have to be a fight. They'll be able to literally set it up and do it, and both be very honest about it. And I think they'll really fucking do it. And I think it will really cause a rivalry. And if Anthony Smith, I don't think Anthony Smith, boy, I don't. AP will put a fucking hurting on Anthony. Eddie.
Yeah, first of all, I love that these guys are doing this. Because it's we always have see egos and stuff like that from people, but to put your money where your mouth is, like I'll put up $50K. Let's do this stuff, right? And if I'm them, I talk to the UFC and do one of those UFC invitational cards. Like I don't know if you guys seen those at all, but those are just jiu-jitsu cards that they put on at the Apex with on UFC Fight Pass. That would be awesome for that.
Yeah, I agree. That would be, UFC could say they're paying it out or whatever. Let them guys put up the money if they want to. But be a good promo, man. I'd want to see it. I want to see it now because of the two guys that it is. If Anthony submits him, Anthony Smith gets a title shot before he hangs up his gloves if he submits him in that spar, in my opinion. It becomes one of those made-for-promo build-ups. Submitted the champion in a spar, made him tap, been counted out. Anthony coming in like fucking Rocky. I'm a top talent. I belong here. This is where I'm supposed to be. Like, it fucking sells itself. I'm just saying, likely AP stands up, though. And Anthony is glad at that moment that it's not a real fight. That's just my opinion. That's all I got, man. Thanks, everybody. Trace, you got anything before I wrap it up out of here?
No, man. I think we covered everything. Yeah, fun card. It's gonna be an interesting one. I think there's a lot of dogs in here that have a lot of opportunities to upset for sure. Like I said, we have a poll that we're running right now. I have four slight dogs that are listed for upset of the night. Pick one if you think somebody that's going to be the upset that's not on there, and you throw them on the comment as a other, and tell me how you think they're going to get it done. Good luck this week on the fight card, guys.
I'm gonna do some plugs, but let's let these boys get they both got their hands up. Better go ahead first.
I just had a real quick question. The Bellator fight cards, what are they going to be aired on now?
I know the answer to that, but I don't remember the answer to that. It's damn, Eddie will know. Eddie, what do you got?
No, I'm at the Witcher, bro. I can't remember. It's not Jesus. It was something. Hulu, Peacock.
HBO Max. HBO Max.
Thank you. I knew it was one of the streamer apps.
What is it?
Yeah, it took me. Yeah, it's Max. HBO Max.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Only Max though.
Mm-hmm.
Only Max.
Yeah, and then real quick, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I rarely check the chat at all, because it's I'm always confused when I jump in that thing, but I did look at it today, and I don't know what the hell's going on with you, Joe. All I know is I'm sitting back waiting for that first diss track. I'm telling you right now, like you jump on that ASAP, bro. All right, first diss track. All right, everyone will retweet it. If you want to feature, I can't rap. All right, but I will ghostwrite for you. All right, bro. And then we will get this shit done, bro. Like, all right, man. Like, I got you. I just want to say that, bro.
You can use ChatGPT for that, bro.
Listen, everybody in here, and everybody, we've been building up the other platforms too. Eddie Law, we love when he gets in here, man. He's with Cage Side Press. I like to plug his brand because he's working hard over there. Them guys put up
Appreciate
a lot of work. You guys do put up a lot of work. I see the article volume, and I see that they get posted consistently. So you'll be impressed with my new thing that's coming from my site, where it puts all the news articles right next to the fighters' names. Cage Side Press will be a big part of that, so you'll be impressed by that. Everybody that comes in here, man, I like to thank everybody. Dead Pix does our tech. He's streaming our YouTube. We're going to clean it up with some frames if you're over there. We're going to make it look a little better. We've been talking about it, can only do one or two things at a time. So over the next week or two, we 100% will improve the look over there. Rumble is fucking awesome. I may try to convince all these guys to dump YouTube and make Rumble our primary and YouTube our secondary. Rumble is fucking awesome. It's weird the way the panel works, but the way Rumble works is fucking absolutely great, and I like it. So we're also on Facebook. All of our videos are going there. Check out my new chat GPT video. It's a prediction model for fights. I'll post it on our page tomorrow, and it's on all of our platforms. Yeah, man, it's a lot of fun. It doesn't take me a horribly long time to make the video, but I try to make it nice. YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, blah 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 blah. Thank you everybody who comes in here. Thank you everybody
I
who
just want to shout out Usman real quick, and he's at a tournament for his sister for softball, and then Andrew not here this week. He's taking his daughter to Disney World. Andrew, fuck you for making me have to suffer through Joe doing my teletape this week. Come back so I can fire you.
man, Trey's throwing me under the fucking bus on this shit all the time, bro. I was out there trying to say shit like Madoff or some shit. Like, bro, I was out there embarrassing myself for just
Macaroni.
fucking around. Thank you everybody who comes in here. Man, we had several people in the YouTube listening for a little while. Thank you for everybody who listens over there. I genuinely appreciate it, man. Thank you everybody. Have a good one.